Hey everybody, this is Chanchai. I am going to be doing a private session with Radamyr. We're going to spar, and then from there, if I'm able to assist them and help them grow, we're going to work on their game. They do play Lei Fei, so there's a limit to my knowledge, but we'll see what they've got, and we'll see how they can better implement fundamentals if that's what's needed, or what direction to go next. They did have really good results in the dojo sessions this Tuesday, but I didn't spar in that session, so I haven't fought them yet. So this will be fun. This is the first time we've worked together, but they asked wonderful questions in the previous dojo session. They asked a lot of good questions, and I ended up showing them some drills. So we'll see what their game will, what can help benefit their game more. So right now I'm going to give a call to them, and we'll get this going. Hi there, Radamyr. This is Chanchai. I am recording right now. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay, excellent. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and create a room in a sec here.
Okay.
I need to, the wonderful world of PC and USB buses is just, when everything's hitting that USB limit, it can kind of act up a little. All right.
I tell you, we're getting a lot of, I don't want to call it feedback, but I don't.
Okay, it might be my fan. It's probably my fan.
That's hitting your phone. A fan that's hitting your mic, maybe.
Yeah, it is. I'll stop it. I'll make sure that it aims down, because right now the room is pretty hot. So let me see.
Yeah, I get that.
So give me a moment here. It's gonna go. We'll do it like that. Actually, we'll aim it up. All right, is that better for you?
Much better. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. All right. So is it pronounced Radamyr or?
Yeah. Yep. That's good.
Like Vladimir. Okay. So
yeah.
I will create a private room. We'll set it as. I guess because this is tutoring, we'll set it as win 5 battles. No big deal there. It's gonna be random stage, and I'm gonna put the code in there. I'm gonna put the code as 9999. Not many people know that I almost never use this code, so I don't expect people to jump in on this. If I use my regular, they will jump in. But all right, so 9999. No spectator. Okay, here we go. So you're gonna see the room, and the room number is 00950.
Where does the room number actually pop up?
If you press like the equivalent of triangle or Y.
Oh, search room ID?
Yeah.
Okay, and what did you say the room was?
00950. And then the code is 9999. And to answer your question, when you run a room, you just press the button that goes to the menu, and it's on the upper right corner of the room menu.
It says I can't find the room.
Okay, let's see. If you refresh on the list. No. The room ID is 00950.
It says unable to find room.
Huh, okay. I'll create a new one. But you will be able to find it also. When I create this room, you should be able to find it in the, let's see.
Yeah, usually it pops up whenever I see somebody making a room.
Alright, see if you can find it.
The system isn't the best, I don't think, but it's a 20-year-old game, so.
Yeah, well, this was more shoehorned later, but yeah, for the Steam implementation, but this is Ultimate Showdown. Ultimate Showdown was 2021. So 03113 is now the room ID. And if you want, we can have you create the room, and I'll probably jump in right away, so.
What did you say the room ID was again?
03113. You can also just hit the X to refresh the listing on the private room list, because I'm one of the locked rooms. Okay.
I have private room on, and it's not.
All right. You go ahead and create the room. We'll jump into your room. Just make it a 5. Just make it a 2-person room with no spectators, and make it a 1st to 5.
Okay.
All right. Are you CD or which one are you? No, you're not. Okay, let me know if you have a room available. I don't see you on any of the listings here.
I've created the room. Code is 2121.
Okay, can you press the menu button and
Yep.
take a look at what that ID is on the upper right corner?
49990.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't find the room. That's okay.
Weird.
Let's go ahead and add each other on Steam. How can I add you on Steam here?
I should just be Radamyr. If you search there, you should be able to find it. I'm probably one of the only ones. I doubt anybody else has the same.
Okay. I'm gonna send you a friend code on Discord. In a second. Hopefully it doesn't screw up our chat. Okay. Okay, you can plug this into the friend code. You'll add me directly on Steam. Alright, there you are. Okay, I'll join your room in just a second here. So. There you go. One sec.
Alright, I sent you an invite.
I don't know why the Steam's acting up here. Give me a moment. There you go. Alright, here we go. Alright, excellent.
Oh no, Leon.
That is my main, so that was just play for fun.
It's my least. Everybody hates fighting against this guy, but I need to practice.
Well, let's see what you got here. Alright.
Round two. Ready, go! Round three. Ready, go!
Very nice. You're doing really well for the most part, but I can see some of why you have trouble as you go up higher in rank. Keep it up. Go ahead and just try to kill me outright.
Round one. Ready, go!
Very nice.
Knockout. Round two. Ready, go!
Nice. Good.
Knockout.
Very nice.
Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout.
So do you know what I'm doing? Do you know what style of fighting I'm doing right now?
See? I thought I'm better.
I mean, you're playing very defensively and you're punishing my
So
attacks.
I'm using the core boxing. I have to be a bit defensive because Lei Fei does have ways of kind of forcing the issue a bit, because he can actually pressure people in ways that most characters can't with his string sequences. So a lot of times people do have to wait against him. But most characters, most matchups, they don't have to really worry about this much about defending. Like usually they could just outright just go ahead and just do the boxing without worrying about too much about the string pressure. But Lei Fei is a little special in that his strings can actually pressure people. And so when people fight against Lei Fei, most of the time in VF is not really, in my view, and the way that I teach VF to me is not exactly a turn-taking game, but Lei Fei is one of those characters that can make you feel like it is. Because in a way that's a lot like other fighting games. But a lot of fighting games are turn-taking. But Lei Fei is one where if you don't respect the fact that his follow-up options can kind of beat what you do, then you're going to fall victim to them. But if you start defending them, that's their weakness, is that they have kind of, they do have, you just have to learn how to defend them. But a lot of times when people are learning VF, this boxing that I do, a more aggressive form of it, is very strong. But Lei Fei actually has to make them kind of wait a little bit, because his strings are good. Because he actually has good strings.
When you're jab checking me, are you guard canceling that?
Yes.
Is that like a?
Yeah.
So
see.
You recover from your jab faster when you cancel the guard.
Yes, correct. And so like in Virtua Fighter, so here's the funny thing about Virtua Fighter's design: not many moves are plus on block. Lei Fei has more than most people do. So most characters do not have much. Most characters don't get plus on block on very many things, but the one thing they do consistently get it on is that high jab, when they guard cancel that first punch. So if they use that single punch, not using the string, including Lei Fei, they'll be +2. That means that a 14 frame mid attack is pretty secure. Like, so you can do that as long as it touches the opponent. That's where you see how I do that high jab into that elbow. That's Virtua Fighter's 1-2. That's like a boxing's jab straight, right? But it's on the high punch. It's not on the low punch. Low punch, I can only do that if I hit you. But as long as I touch you with this high jab, then I can do this elbow, right? Like if you try the low punch, you'll get out hit by the elbow. They're actually hitting at the same frame, but in Virtua Fighter, when two attacks hit each other, the one that does higher damage wins.
Yeah.
And that's very different. Like Tekken, that's not how it works. Tekken, they both hit the same time, they both hit each other.
Right.
Like regardless, there's no priority system on that. In VF, there's a priority for damage first. So right now, knowing that I'm just doing the boxing, you can start using Lei Fei's pressure games and the fact that he's got to that the opponent does need to be a bit more defensive, because he can kind of set up these really nasty games. Very good. And so this is giving you your path to win, is that you're using that Lei Fei can kind of say, no, I can actually keep pressuring, and the reward is actually pretty high. And then setting up like the uppercut there. It's really good. Excellent. Good game. Good game. So the core boxing though is eventually what you're going to have to learn, even with Lei Fei.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where a lot of Lei Fei players don't learn the boxing right away. The crazy thing is, okay, so boxing is the least risky way to play VF. It is the way to minimize risk. But a lot of Lei Fei players, when they get used to playing his string pressure game, they start thinking that the boxing is the risky way to play, and that's not true at all. It's just that the frame of reference has changed because of Lei Fei's nature, right? Because you've learned how to apply pressure this way. But now you're seeing how that my highest damage is going to be the throws. And that's also why you started attacking more than normal too. Was you realize that that you're going to have better trades, and I would have to elbow you a lot to make up for you hitting one launcher. But that doesn't mean the boxing is bad. It just means Lei Fei's got this way of playing that for me to win against Lei Fei, I should actually start doing damage more. But I'm still testing you in the boxing because I do want you to see how strong it is by itself. But also this boxing, the main thing about this boxing is this is not the way to win, but this is the way to win an exchange on speed with less risk, and then also to build reads while you do it. You start to get a sense of your opponent's type of their rhythm of attacking, what would make them throw, what would make them attack, and that's what the boxing's good for. But now you're able to assert your authority more.
My time is here. Bring out. Round 4. Ready, go. My time is here.
So, what's your recovery frames on an old jab?
Well, it's more important to know the frame advantage. So if it touches you, it's +2. The recovery frames is very low because it is true that the amount of frames that a jab has is a little bit, but and so the recovery frames are not much. So it's hard to whiff punish it.
I thought I'm better.
But you can whiff punish almost everything else in this game, including elbow. But the way to whiff punish an elbow is a little harder too. In this game, whiff punish.
The reason I ask is because you said you're recovering faster if you guard cancel your jab, and I'm wondering what the difference is. What's the frame difference on
So the thing is
raw?
So guard cancel means that I can make full use of the frame advantage. That's the difference.
You'd better take me
Whereas
seriously.
if I don't guard cancel, I'm gonna try to not hit punch. I'm gonna try not to do this string. And if I try to do that without guard canceling, I'm waiting and I'm throwing away that frame advantage I have. Whereas if I guard cancel, I don't have to worry about it because I can do this jab over and over like this instead of going punch, wait, punch, wait, punch, wait. You want to guard cancel because guard cancel tells the game I don't want a string. The guard cancel says I do not want to do a string. And so because of that, you can go straight into motions for your next move. You can go straight into doing another move like this, right? Now with Lei Fei, it would be punch guard and then do forward punch really quick after it. That's one way to do it. And then another way is, do you know how to crouch dash right now? Yeah. Do crouch dash in the full punch?
Because I'm a pad player, it's always been a weakness of mine.
Okay, so there's an easy way to do this. Think about, you play Street Fighter?
Yeah, I haven't really played Street Fighter since Street Fighter 2, man.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so ever since Street Fighter 4, you have a shortcut for Dragon Punch. That's.
Yeah.
Do you know numeric notation?
Yeah.
Okay, so 3-2-3.
Okay. Yeah.
Squiggle that with your D-pad. Okay, so now instead of do 3-2-3, do 3 quarter circle forward. Yeah. And so you squiggle that 3-2-3 and then slide it to forward. Do that and punch, and he's gonna have a special palm attack. That's not the one. You want to finish the forward before. Yes, that's the one I want. So this one is a special sequence with Lei Fei. So if you jab them and you hit them with this, you can do that quarter circle forward. You can do that 3-2-3-6-P right away from the high jab if it hits, and it's a very strong sequence. So yeah, and so that's kind of how I do it. Is I do, on a pad. That's how I would do it. And so what it is doing this and then this, right? Yeah, exactly. Similar. That was a PP, right? But this is so PG. So that guard cancel is what's going to prevent you from doing that PP. So PG, and then do this motion. Yeah, do that. That G. Make sure you don't do the PP. It tells the game I don't want to do a string. I don't want to do punch. I want to do this, right? guard canceling is really good. So because of that, right now, how did you bind your controller?
So my guard is on R1.
Good, good. That's my advice. So my advice is that if you want to know my actual controls personally when I use pad, I actually have R1 set to punch and I have R2 set to kick. But I have like square set to guard, and that's because I play this game as a 3-button game, and it's easier that way because of all the guard canceling you do in this game.
I've really thought about learning stick for this game because I think it would make a big difference for me.
I do think it makes a big difference, but it does take time to learn. All of the input styles take a time to learn. So
yeah, I haven't played stick at all. I mean, I was an arcade rat when I was young, so I mean, I have familiarity playing on cabs, but yeah, I've played pad for decades.
I would say it sounds like you've only played on American cabinets, though, right? American arcades?
Yeah, I've just used like a PS4 pad.
Okay. No, but I mean, when you've used stick, it's only mostly been...
Oh, stick? Yeah.
So if you've only done it on American cabinets, it's different from the Japanese levers, but I do think it's worth learning for Virtua Fighter because I think it's really fun to play this game on lever. But this game, there are world-class players that play on pad, so I'm not going to dispute the validity of pad, but I would say even some of them switch to stick, you know. But a lot of them stay, and a lot of them are amazing. Do everything you can possibly do in the game. So yeah. So, you know, I'll show it to you a bit later, but we'll go ahead and keep sparring. We're going to finish this set, and then I'll play Lei Fei to show you a few things. But I'll also tell you what my assessment is on your game too. But I think you have a really good sense. You're doing a lot of really good stuff, and you crafted a really good strategy to fight the boxing using Lei Fei's sequences of pressure. Very nice. Very nice. So, and your meaty timing is really good too. So your timing for attacking when somebody's waking up is really good.
Yeah, I deserve that.
It's not
forward throw.
Yeah, that one was forward, but I mixed them up. I did forward, back, and forward.
Ready, go!
Very good. That was very good.
Yeah, the boxing's tearing me up.
But your flow is doing really good. But I wanted to show you the value of the boxing too. It is harder to appreciate as a it's harder for a Lei Fei player to appreciate it, if I'm being honest. But I think you can appreciate it even here, right? It's just that like Lei Fei will give you this high reward if they fall for a sequence, right? Like right there was like half my life, and so it can be hard to understand why. Like this sequence is really strong because it's going to punish a low punch response. So you did awesome. But again, so it'll be harder to understand why. Now, of course, if I open up the boxing and say, okay, I'm going to start doing launchers, very different story. But the boxing is just showing you how strong just the core basic, why most VF players will say that the best moves in the game are high punch, low punch, elbow, and throw. But again, the good thing with Lei Fei is he can really punish very generic play in a good way. But the hard part then is that it's hard for him to see like why it's so good. And sometimes that makes it harder for the Lei Fei player to learn how to properly do this. Because later on, they're going to have to. Later on, they're going to be like fighting somebody that's whiff punishing and evade punishing everything they're doing, right? And so they're gonna realize that everything they do has got a risk, but that if the opponent, and it's not so much that the risk doesn't mean you don't do it. The risk just means like, okay, but is the opponent making use of that risk? And at higher level they are. But you got to find out when, you got to know when you're supposed to do it, when you can feel out when it's better to do it, when it's worse to do it. And that answer is not like a general rule. That answer is about what your opponent's doing, not about like as a fact. It's not good because it's good. It's good because it's good against what your opponent's doing right now. That's the rule of VF. Other fighting games, there are stuff you just do because they're good, because they're oppressive. It's really hard to oppress in this game. Really hard. I'm only, right now, this boxing, I'm only oppressing you because of my guessing. Because I'm guessing correctly about what you're probably going to do. So the only way I can oppress you with this boxing, actually, is a little knowledge, but mostly that I'm guessing correctly. I'm like, well, he's going to defend, now he's going to try to throw, now he's going to try to attack. And I played a basic rock, paper, scissors. So, I don't know if that makes sense. Is that confusing when I say that, or how I'm explaining that?
What, about your guessing?
Yeah, about how this boxing is working and why it's giving you a hard time, or how it functions. But also, yeah, that ultimately, what I'm saying is I cannot oppress you with a string. Now, Lei Fei can, in general, kind of oppress. He can force guesses off of strings. That's what makes him feel comfortable for someone that played a lot of other fighting games. But the thing that makes Virtua Fighter unique is this game is uniquely move to move, like single action to single action. Very nice. So I'll have to admit, I don't know how to play Lei Fei much. I know how to do some stuff. So very nice. Good punish. That was really good. I like that. Awesome. That was really good, Sabaki.
Thank you. You're attacking very quickly on Wake Up. I guess I haven't figured out how the timing of that yet. I get blown up a lot on my Oki game. Like, I feel like I'm always getting stuffed. Like, not just with you, just in general when I play.
Right. I think it's because you're used to playing the attack defend game without the throwing as much, but also because you are used to using the push away tools more as opposed to the really quick attacks too. These are features of Lei Fei, but there is a way to play really fast with Lei Fei as well.
Yeah, and I haven't found that rhythm yet with Lei Fei.
Part of that is going to be those basics that we talked about and the guard canceling of single punch because of how good single punch is. And then it is some movement like this. And then where to guard and how long to guard for. But see, how did I throw you there? Do you know? Nice. Do you know how I threw you?
Guard break stuck.
No. I threw you because I low punched you and then threw you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good pressure. Also, like with doing stick, I think I would be a lot faster to be able to guard cancel stuff if I could just like roll my fingers instead of like going back from.
Well, this motion maybe, but actually you can still do a lot with the stick. I mean with pad, but it's just a matter of getting used to it and getting used to the buffering, which I don't know if you're buffering yet. And it's hard to know when you play Lei Fei because of how much I have to kind of sit back and watch. It's hard for me to know if you're buffering or not. With other characters, I could tell if you are just responding too slow. So this is high punching straight into it right away.
Yep.
Keep it
up.
on.
What I'll usually do in a situation like that, and it gives me more time to buffer, is I'll usually do his punch into a throw.
Gotcha.
Just because, again, like, I'm probably not buffering fast enough on a single jab, you know, and if I do two, I've just found it gives me a little bit.
Right. So you don't really need time to buffer. You just have to do things sooner. So that when we're saying that people aren't buffering, it's something as simple as like I block your low punch and I attack right away. I take a certain low kick and I like attack right away. So it's just inputting the next move before you recover. That's all buffering means, because you can do it 12 frames before you recover. And we'll get into that soon to kind of test it. Very good.
I also got to do stupid shit like that, like going into stance when people are on the ground, because I just get knocked out of it.
This one is insanely strong. If I get a purple hit, the rest is guaranteed, I think. There we go. Gotta get used to that. Don't worry. After this set, we'll workshop a little to work on some basics and refine your understanding of each thing too. So you can just show me what you do know, and we can. Very good. Very good. Very nice. Don't worry, I don't know Lei Fei enough that I'm improvising everything I'm doing here, but... Nice. Nice. So if I tech, that's what you got. You got MIDI timing down.
Oh, I messed that up.
Nice, good game.
Do you recover and crouch a lot? Is that a good idea?
When you know what you're doing, yeah. When you know what you're doing and you know what your opponent's doing. It's bad if you don't know what you're doing because you're going to eat a lot of mid attacks. Mm-hmm. But if you know that the opponent's likely to do certain things, then it's really strong.
If you're like trying to read, he's going to dash up and throw.
Yeah, and if your reactions are really good and you know the animations, then it's really good. So yeah. It's got a skill barrier to it. Okay, so from crouch, I can't do that move. Okay. Trying to learn how to do Lei Fei here. Very nice.
So your wake up kick was stronger than my 6.6K there, huh? That's
something like complicated. It was probably more about the timing. But usually if they hit at the same time, the answer is yes. But sometimes you can also get somebody to whiff their rising attack, right? Because if the rising attack is too early, it'll whiff. If it's too late, then you can evade it sometimes. So... see. Very good.
Yeah, I gotta drill that 3-2-3 punch, so I fast that.
It's a good one. It's good. Yeah, it's really good. It's counter hit tool. It's good pressure. You can kind of whiff punish with it. It's really good. When you get used to the motion, and you can actually start moving in the game with it, so you can treat it. Do you play Tekken?
Yeah, I haven't in like months since season 2 came out. I've really kind of lost my.
Okay. But you can kind of treat. So in Virtua Fighter, have you been using crouch dash at all?
Like I said, I'm not super fast with my 3-3s and everything on pad yet.
But if you get used to it, especially that squiggle motion I told you where it's 3-2-3, then it's easy to do this when you get used to it. And it's basically like a wave dash. It's a lot like playing a Mishima, but every character can do it in this game. I see that's why a lot of Lei Fei players like to use this move. Nice Sabaki. Very nice. Attack beats throw. This guard break is mean.
Yeah.
Alright, so okay. We're gonna test stuff out. I'll play a more conventional character because it's easier to isolate the training that way. All right, what do you know about sidestepping in this game in Virtua Fighter? About evade?
I mean, it's binary, which I like. Either it's successful or it's not, right?
Okay, what makes it successful?
Timing, right? You time it correctly when the attack is coming out.
Okay, so you don't have to think about it as the timing, though that's true. What is the rule? Why is that timing in place? Like, what is the exact rule for the evade? I think you have it because you said it, but basically they have to be in the startup frames of an attack.
Right, okay, yeah.
Okay, if you evade before they attack, it's gonna fail.
Right.
So for example, let's do PG, right? And I'm gonna block PG, and then you do evade, right? And I'm gonna hit you because you're plus, right? Okay.
But if I delay just a second.
But now let's not worry about delay. Let's think about logically what happens in the game. Let's do low punch. Low punch is -5. It's not +2 on block. So now I want you to low punch and evade. Very easy, right?
Right.
And so now I want you to do, what is it? Do 3P without canceling it.
3P?
Yeah. Yeah, do that and then evade. Right? Now I want you to keep testing the earliest you can do evade. So keep doing this. Keep doing 3P into evade. I'm going to block it. I'm going to low punch. But I want you to test how early you can press evade. I want you to do it until it doesn't work. So do you see that white puff, that white spark? When that white spark disappears, that's when you can evade.
Okay.
And now that you're used to this timing, I want you to do another thing. I want you to evade and then just lift your thumb, like just almost like take your left hand off your controller, if that doesn't cause you to drop it. But basically, do the evade and just let go of the controller with your left hand. Okay. So do the same thing as we were doing before. 3P into it. And the reason I'm having you do this is I want you to see how early you can do this. You don't need to be late. You don't need to special time it. The game will let you do this because when I do this on stick, you can see me raise my hand up in the air. And I will know that my character is evading long after my hand has been up in the air. Does that make sense? Because that's how early I can do it, right? And that's how you physically can feel how early you can do it. When you do, so the more minus you are, the easier it is to evade.
Right.
Why? Because when you're minus and you do the
You're
evade,
closer to your recovery frame.
not because you're closer. No. When you're minus, I said the more minus, you're farther away from your recovery frame. So why is evading easier? Because the game has a 12 frame input buffer, it lets you do that. But more importantly, because when you're like, let's say you're -7, okay? When you're -7, what does that mean? It means that if we both chose to attack right away, how much sooner am I attacking than you?
Yeah, you're 7 frames sooner than me.
Right. So that's 7 whole frames that could have been like, during that whole time, the chance that I was going to strike back was much higher. Whereas in the neutral, you're trying to perfectly time this and it's hard, right? So in the neutral, what we do is we'll do something like backdash evade. But even then, this is kind of hard because if the opponent didn't attack right away, we're going to lose to a delayed attack. Evading is very risky. So evading is easier when we're minus, right?
Yeah.
It's harder when we're in neutral. And so trying to time it, yes, you can do that eventually. but trying to time it is a more difficult, unnecessarily difficult thing to do when you're developing your game, when you're under a lot of pressure. Eventually you get so much experience that you can do it on reaction, but the beginner shouldn't do that. The beginner should look at sidestepping as an alternative to guarding. When do we guard? When we're really minus, right? Because if I do this low punch, I'm gonna mash low punch, okay? I want you to, with Lei Fei, this is kind of hard. I want you to 3P in retaliation, okay? I want you to block the first low punch. So I'm gonna dash forward, low punch, and I want you to 3P this, okay? Is 3P that slow?
Yeah.
How slow is 3P?
I don't know all my frames, but I'm guessing it's gotta be at least 14, maybe 15.
No, but if it was 14, it would win. You're not buffering. That's the point of this drill, is to see if you are actually buffering.
Gotcha.
So let's change the drill then. The drill, we're going to start with the very basic one then. Low punch me after you block the first low punch.
Right.
Perfect. Okay, now let's look at Lei Fei's frames. Lei Fei's 6P is 16 frames. You can still do this. So I want you to block and do 6P. Good. See how you've missed 2 already? You're not. This is telling you you're not buffering. And this is a hard thing to buffer. Make no mistake, this is actually a hard thing to buffer. Why? Because this low punch recovers so fast.
Yeah.
So despite the fact that it is -5, not all the frame advantage and disadvantage means is that the stun on one side is it just means that my stun is 5 frame. I recover from my stun 5 frames later than you recover from the same stun.
Right.
That's all it means, right? So if the stun was long, we have more time to input that buffer. We have more time to buffer. But if the period of stun is short, that's not much time. So good. So now try to get, yep, there you go. This is your goal, right? Now this is a slow move. Let's look at a 17 frame attack. Let's up the reward if we're gonna go this far. So Lei Fei's 9K is 16 frames. Will also work. So I want you to use 9K. There you go. 9K will beat this as long as you're frame tight, right? Now I want you to try to, and that's 9K plus G. 9K plus G is, I gotta look this up, is 16 frames, also 16 frames, okay? So these things are pretty easier. The game is not gonna delay them or anything like that. So it's really good to know. And we want to do this drill. This is why one of the drills I give is to have the AI, record the AI, dash forward, do 2 low punches in a row, dash forward, do 2 low punches in a row. Because you're supposed to block the first one and make use of the +5 that you have. And to do that, you need to buffer. A lot of people don't buffer. A lot of people say, no, I'm just going to time my response. I'm going to do it, make it feel like Tekken. And they're like late. And then they think it's the lag. And I'm like, it's not the lag, it's you. It's you refusing to buffer. So...
Yeah, I can definitely tell there's a lot of people that are making decisions a lot faster than me and making those inputs a lot faster than I am, which is allowing them to keep up the pressure that I'm not finding myself yet.
Yep. So let's change that vocabulary, right? You said they're making these decisions faster, which is true, and that they are buffering faster than you, right? But let's change that wording. They are just doing it sooner. They might be slower than you, but they're inputting sooner. That's all it is. Doesn't have to be faster, it just has to be sooner. Do you know the difference? Like faster is like a reflex, right? Faster is like, oh, okay, I've got that reflex. But but even if you have slow reflex, you could act sooner. You just have to respond. The point has to be responded a little differently. So what I'll say is this: most people are focused on hit confirming when they learn fighting games. They're waiting for this low punch to touch you before deciding what to do, and this makes them late. I actually respond to just the fact, just seeing this startup animation does not look the same as this. Does not look the same as this. This animation looks totally different, right? I'm trying to react to the startup animation. Doesn't mean I have to be faster though. It's just that my reference point is sooner. I'm not waiting for the contact. I'm like, oh, I know how this is gonna go. It's like
and that comes with familiarity, right? I mean, just learning the animations of your opponent's attacks is
it does
matchup knowledge. Right?
It does, but it's also some people's skills. Some people are not training the skill because they're not thinking of this as a possibility.
Right.
They're like, I'm gonna wait till it hits, till I know what happens, and then I'm gonna do something, and then it's too late, right? What I'm saying is, do you drive car?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you drive and you're in the freeway and it's a rainy day and someone hits a puddle, so you see water flying towards your windshield, do you wait for the water to hit your windshield before you respond, or do you respond before that?
Well, if I can, I'd respond before that.
Right. It's the same thing here. So what I'm trying to tell the fighting game player is that you want to actually kind of like, you can still hit confirm, but you want to animation check your opponent. You want to see what they're doing. You don't want to wait until they've already done it. But a lot of people are trained that way because that is kind of how you do it in a lot of games. A lot of 2D fighters have very fast animations. So it's just really like, it's like too hard to check the animation this way. This game's got way slower animations, right? A fighting game, 2D fighter might have a 5-frame jab. This game has got 12-frame jabs.
Right.
That's 7 more frames. So you get to use the same time that you would have done the 5 frames, maybe 6 frames in. Again, I'm not saying to perfectly react to it, but just that it triggers you. It's like, okay, I recognize it. I was waiting for it. I was looking for it. Just like you said, it is familiarity, but you do want to have the mindset that, when I start seeing this water puddle that's coming in, my brain knows it's a threat. So now I know how to act. I know to slow the car down. I know not to speed through that. I know that it's going to give me a blind. I'm going to be blind for like a second because of that puddle hitting my windshield. Right? So your body is prepared. You're prepared. In VF, you do the same thing. You want to eventually, I'm not saying you have to master the art of doing 17-frame responses to a low punch right away, or because you predict that they're going to mash. What I am saying is that in the long run, just understand that this is what your goal is to be able to react, not just to the hit, but react to the startup, to kind of recognize that's what's happening, and then kind of get comfortable letting yourself commit to that next move so that you can commit to the game after that next move.
Right. Yep.
That's the speed that VF plays at. That's why the players that do understand this and when they start learning the boxing with other characters, that's why they kind of go from their first impression being this game is slow and clunky to this game is freakishly fast. And it's fast because other games are locking you down, like Lei Fei, right? A lot of other games is like you got to wait 3, 4, 5 attacks and then you can do your turn. I don't think of turns because in this game it's like, no, I have to make a choice right away. If you do if Brad does this, what do you think the correct answer is for this? That's one way. So there's a simple answer here. This Brad is mashing. Yes, that's kind of the right way. So what I would say is do a low punch and then do a counter hit launcher. You can do low punch into 6P. There you go. That's how you beat the masher. Why? Because the masher keeps hitting buttons. If he keeps hitting buttons, all you have to do is gain frame advantage, and the easiest way to gain frame advantage against a masher is to low punch. This is the first core of boxing. There you go. Now do your combo.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do the combo. Get the full reward. Show what happens to the masher, right? Right. This is how we're gonna beat the masher. And the thing is that there's a masher in all of us. So we just need to recognize when our opponent's being a masher and when they're not. And that will make a lot of decisions for you. So the first step, masher, what's the plan for the masher? We low punch them, gives us +7 or +5. Then we do this counter hit launcher, then we do a combo. Why the counter hit launcher? It's pretty safe for us. Even if we get hit out of it, we're probably okay. But the main thing is that it's very secure, it's fast, and if they evade it, they don't get much for it. Okay. So the first beginner type we're destroying is the masher here. And the masher isn't defeated by, you could defeat him by trying to space out and create space and all that, but the very easiest answer against the masher is to use low punch. Low punch is strong in VF. Low punch is strong in VF because, yes, there's ways to punish it, but the opponent puts themselves at risk of other stuff if they do.
See,
right?
I hate 2P because it's a turn stealer.
Yeah.
It frustrates me.
Okay, but this is also why I'm saying this is not a turn-based game.
Yeah.
This is the reason I'm saying it's not. Now, for Lei Fei, it looks like a turn-based game, but it's not. Low punch is low punch stops the opponent. Low punch is the simplest answer against mashing. The problem with the mashing, the fallacy with the mashing is thinking that the high attack is a good attack. But we got to ask ourselves, why is a high attack worse than a mid attack? Because a mid attack is way better than the high. If I have advantage, I will tell you the mid is way better. And it's simply because this low punch will beat the high attack, right?
Right.
So the weakness of high attack is that it can be crushed, right? Okay.
Right.
Now, what's the weakness of low punch? Let's talk about that. What's the weakness of low punch? Show me the weakness. There's one way is to defend it and beat it. There's another. There's an ultimate weakness that means there's a reason that low punch, yes, that's the correct answer. Crush it. With Lei Fei, I think 9k plus G will crush right away. I think maybe. Okay, maybe you need frames. But yeah, so you got to whiff punish with Lei Fei. Other characters, they have like a 0 frame like crush or like a 1 frame like crush. But with Lei Fei, I guess basically
I
time
can
it.
also go into my stance.
Right, but if he's doing this, it's doing nothing yet, right? He's got to move to you and do it. So the thing is that low punch, you can definitely punish. In your case with Lei Fei, you will have to time it. But basically, once this thing whiffs, you do your 9k. We'll crush it pretty much. We'll do pretty good. And then 9k is actually hard to punish. Like even on guard, kind of hard to punish, right? So okay, but then this is better. This might not have better frames, but why is this a bit better? Because this thing is hard to crush, right? So we're gonna do this thing. Remember how I told you about jab elbow? And the problem with Lei Fei is that you don't get to learn this properly without making it hard for yourself. Okay, so this is the basic thing. So I want you to block my high punch and do a low punch, right?
Yeah, I get stuffed.
And you get stuffed because this elbow can't really be crushed. Now you can backdash and launch him. You could evade throw him. Actually, the correct answer here is to evade throw this. But Brad can actually have a follow-up and do it. But still, if he just does the basic elbow, you could actually evade throw right away. So go ahead and try that next, because that is kind of the cheat answer, is to block the high punch and then evade throw the elbow. I'm just showing you the core boxing. I don't know how it comes to you because as a Lei Fei player, but I will tell you this is what every other character needs to learn. Almost every character. Yep, like that. And now I'm going to mash and you're going to see that throw works, right? You got to throw sooner than that. Actually, you have to evade sooner than that. You got to buffer the evade earlier. See? Perfect. Perfect.
That was the buffer.
Now that's the buffer. So you like having this two-person training showing you exactly what's working and not?
Yeah.
Now you get to see what this buffer means. And this is why it's hard to do in a real match. But this is why we're training it, so that it'll get one step closer to doing it in a real match. So there is a problem with one of the weaknesses that I found when I fought you. It's not a weakness, but okay. In Virtua Fighter, there's the main weakness in Virtua Fighter is predictability. Okay.
Is what?
Predictability.
Yeah.
Being predictable. So the reason I don't like I like teaching why advantage is good, why attacking with advantage is good, right? I don't really count that as like a turns property. It's just more of a why is attacking really good property, right? And why is it good when you have advantage? It's because when you have the correct advantage, and especially if you use a mid attack, then attack will beat both throw and it will beat attack, right? That's the real reason. But it doesn't mean turns. Why does it not mean turns? Because this is a rock, paper, scissors game. because throwing exists. And so all I had actually, when I first fought you, I was like, I just need to throw him when he's minus, like a lot. And if I do this about 80% of the time, I will probably win the round. You know? And it's because you're thinking in the turns paradigm, and then you're just waiting to see how you deal with that. And in your mind, you're probably thinking, I need to throw escape more. But I would tell you, no, you just actually need to attack while you're minus more. You need to forsake this idea of the turns, because it's still your turn. It's just you need to attack what the opponent's doing, not just play the quote unquote game, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
And this is why I don't like talking about turns, because in other games it is turns. There's a lot of games where the opponent gets you block stunned and has got a full sequence, and if you try, there might be an answer to attack that, but most likely you will get destroyed for trying to do that, so you literally have to wait your turn. Lei Fei kind of does that, but that's not really true too. You saw me interrupt a lot of Lei Fei stuff, right? Yeah. And so it's a guess. It's not a turn, it's a guess, right? And in other games, it is actually kind of a turn. Like, you literally gonna have to wait there and really patient this out, and that it's just such a 90% answer that, like, you just need to do that until they're reliably going, 90% with it. But the problem is, in this game, I can just throw you a lot right now. I don't need to wait. I can just low punch you right now. I don't need to wait, right? And you're going to start dealing with people that will do that. They'll see one attack and know, oh, your string doesn't have the proper follow-up, doesn't have a mid here, so I'm going to low punch right here. And even if you tried to crush it, at least I made you go out of your plan. And right. That's not a turn to me, right? That's just a decision tree still, but it is a really powerful one. But it's a decision point, and so you don't need to wait a turn. You just need to know the options. So again, the way we beat. So again, we're learning that low punch is strong. Why is low punch strong? Because it beats the masher. And not just that, but it's not the low punch that's the threat, it's this counter hit launcher that's the threat, right? And the thing is when you get that red low punch, you're +4. We just said, okay, actually it's not even that. Okay, you're +4. Even if you normal hit me with the low punch, you don't even need a counter hit. Even if you low punch me, you're a 9k or a 9k plus G would win. So what I want you to do is I want you to hit me with low punch. This is not the way you're supposed to play a normal game. I'm just illustrating a point. So I want you to hit me with low punch, and I'll show you what I will do. I'm going to mash low punch. I'm going to mash punch right away when you low punch. See? And this 9k wins, because all you need is +4 for this mid attack launcher to win. And you can do 9k plus G as well. Right? And that doesn't mean that that's the play. It just means that this, like, if this guy doesn't stop mashing when he's -4, I can just do this. You can just do that, right? You don't need to low punch or anything. You're just like, this guy is just mashing no matter what. So now I want you to block, and let's see. I'm gonna, this is probably not the best one. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to show you another thing. In this game, why is mid-low not the mix-up? It's because fast, easy lows are usually only going to chip, but like they're minus. Too, right? Yeah, so I want you to do 6p after taking this hit, okay? Nice. Now I want you to 9k after taking this hit. 9k wins. So we know that this is worse. This is -4 or worse. This is -4 or worse when I hit you, right? Obviously, the downside is that, okay, so Brad has this. So because Brad has this, let's talk about what we do instead. So what we do instead is there's 2 routes. One, you do a crouching attack. Very easy. So go ahead and do that. So this is going to be a low-high string. You're going to take the low, but it didn't guarantee the high. The high is not guaranteed. So I want you to go ahead and just, do a sweep. Do a sweep. Why not? Right? It's not the best answer, but I'm just saying this was possible, right? You could also just low punch. This is actually when you low punch, and you mix up. That was perfect. You low punch in the throw. Low punch in the throw or low punch in the mid. Whatever's your choice. Low punch in the launcher if you want. Perfect. Look at that. So now, okay.
Is that a true punish though?
That one, you can try it. It might be for this situation. I wouldn't do it because the problem is it's like that. But actually, this might be it. Try it. No. Right.
Because I was trying to duck. I know it wasn't a true punish for the
Okay.
low. I was wondering if it was a true whiff punish when I ducked the high.
So now that was the second thing I was going to tell you. The second thing is how to duck. Now, there's actually two ways to duck. You could just hold down and guard, but actually I want you to know that crouch dash is really good. Crouch dash is a way to program the ducking part. And then you can just kind of crouch dash and then you watch and then you whiff punish. So go ahead and try that, okay? Practice trying to crouch dash after you take this hit. I know it's kind of weird, but yeah, we'll just keep working on it. Because you'll get used to it. It will take time. So 3-3, crouch dash forward, not backwards.
You want me to crouch dash forward?
Yeah. Okay, actually, I need to show you the weakness of backwards movement in Virtua Fighter in this game. Okay.
You counter hit when you're moving backwards?
One, you get counter hit. Do you know the second weakness?
No.
Okay, so I want you to low punch and backdash. Good. Keep doing it. Backdash. You get into the stagger that's like minus 32.
Yeah.
So like they can do, if they know how to do it, they can totally combo you. They can do half your life. That said, that doesn't mean backdash is bad. It means that if you're close up, this is the risk of backdash is getting sidekicked. If you're this far, backdash is pretty good.
Right.
Okay. But if you're this close, the risk is the sidekick, and you have to weigh that risk. But you can also backdash evade.
Now that we're talking about movement, how do you feel like my spacing was when we were fighting?
I haven't got a sense of your spacing yet. I felt like I'm not worried about it. So, and part of it's because I don't. Here's the thing: in VF, crouch dash is better. Crouch dash is the best movement.
Yeah.
Forward crouch dash, not back crouch dash.
Okay.
Virtua Fighter is a forward-based game. So the other thing, okay, what is the third weakness? So the first weakness we said was you're going to get counter hit from backdash. Yeah. Second weakness, you can get staggered, right? What do you think is the third weakness of backdash?
Takes you out of range of your opponent, so you can't attack?
No, that's actually a good thing. But what is the third weakness?
With Lei Fei particularly, I'm able to backdash a lot and punish with my launch.
That's strong.
His launch is a long range.
Creating range is the advantage of backdash. What is the weakness? I don't think you know it. Okay, so the weakness is this. I want you to backdash and guard right away. That is the soonest you can guard. Do it 3 times in a row.
Yeah, it's slow.
So, right, because you cannot guard cancel backdash. Now I want you to guard cancel forward dash as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So in this game, you can move forward and guard. You can crouch dash forward and guard. And this is why it's really good to have that R1 guard button. Okay? So you can crouch dash forward and guard. Crouch dash backwards and guard. Try it. Right?
Okay.
But crouch dash forward and guard. Try it.
Much faster.
Right?
Much faster.
You can do this. Now, backdash, you can definitely cancel with attack. And that's why you do backdash launcher with Lei Fei. Right?
Yeah.
So you can, there's only 2 things that can really cancel backdash. One is attack, and the other is evade. And you can dash cancel evade. So you can do back, down, back, up, back. Now that said, once I can bait your regular evade though. If I attack at the right time, you're going to do a successful evade, and I can approach you. So understand that too. But you can cancel. So then you can do backdash, evade, forward dash. Try that. See? And now backdash, evade, forward dash, guard. And try evade, forward dash, guard. Now this will still lose to a lot of half circulars, but this will defend a lot of really slow ones. So if you dash cancel and then guard, but you got to do a forward dash, because try it with back dash, not going to work, right? Because you have to do a full back dash before you guard. But forward dash guard, yeah. So you do want to get used to this forward dash motion and the crouch dash motion and guard. And as Lei Fei, you want to do this like Brad likes doing this crouch dash because he can whiff punish really good. He's really good at whiff punishing. So if he ducks under a high, he's like boom, or he sees you crouching, boom, right?
Yeah.
And so, but Lei Fei, he likes crouch dash. He can also do that crouch dash 6P, right? So do a crouch dash into forward and punch. There you go. And you'll get used to the motion. You'll find the motion that works best for you. But when you get that, you'll be able to do this like high punch into that. And that's like the ideal one. But again, if I mash, just low punch into this palm is a safe way to play. Boom, right?
Yeah.
It's only bad if I start evading this palm. That's the problem. So go ahead, right? Right. Good. Keep doing it.
Yeah, Brad's will hit me with that a lot.
Right, and that's because they're evade punishing you, right?
Yeah.
The thing about evades is that they punish big attacks. They don't punish small attacks, they punish big attacks. So if somebody's evading you, you can just do a single jab, and then you could probably attack them right away after.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like they're more likely to be minus if they evade it late. If they evade this high jab late, they will be minus, so then you're applying pressure right away, you know. And so okay. We've talked about low punch is the anti-masher tool. Okay? High punch is also really good because high punch applies pressure. So now I want you to... This is tricky with Lei Fei, but let me take a look at what is Lei Fei's 14 or 15 frame mid?
It's probably 3P.
No, it's 6XP, but this is kind of hard to do. So this will be hard to do. I'm gonna play as Lei Fei and test this out. Okay, This is technically maybe too hard to do if I'm being honest. Like,
what is it?
But it's just jab into 6XP. But I'm gonna test it because I need to test it. I need to see for sure that I can do it. But how hard it is. But basically, you have to fully commit to that forward dash. You do PG while doing forward. You do the PG first, yeah, like that, and you can test it out. Perfect. Good.
Yeah, if I'm too fast,
there shouldn't be a too fast actually. It's just more that your motion's more likely to be sloppy when you're too fast. There you go. But you have to do the forward dash early, and there's a reason. It's if you do the forward dash like not early, what will happen is that it will dash cancel, which adds an extra frame. So your 6XP becomes 15 frames instead of 14. That's the problem. And so for this jab, so you're getting this. I do want you to test this against the AI. I want you to practice doing jab into 6XP. It's a very strong sequence. This is Lei Fei's 1-2. This is the 1-2 for Lei Fei. Now, when Lei Fei is confirming his jab, then he can do the crouch dash 6P. But that crouch dash 6P, I'm pretty sure is too slow to be done on the +2 situation. But if you get good at doing 6XP whenever you block something and you have advantage, I forgot I want to play Lei Fei. Yeah, because it's 16, it becomes 17 frames. That crouch dash 6P is 17 frames. That's why it needs to be +5. It needs the +5 for it to be tight. And that's really, really tight. Actually, let's test it out. This is going to be hard. There you go. Try it. So now try doing the jab into crouch dash 6P. Right? But because right now this is hard to do, you want to do the jab into 6XP. Because that'll be a much safer way to do. See? And that'll punish them. So this jab 6XP is really your thing with Lei Fei. This is his elbow equivalent. And the good thing is that it creates spacing so he can kind of play around with that spacing after. That's the other thing with Lei Fei is he creates spatial advantage and also frame advantage too. in ways that are not typical of other characters. Excuse me. They're not as typical for other characters, and so it's even harder for people to deal with. And this 6-6P creates space, which means you get to play a lot of spacing traps with people. You get to set up 1P plus K and stuff like that. So this jab 6-6P is good. So now I want you to block this jab and then do low punch, okay? Good. See how hard it is even for me? Like, I have to fully commit to it. But if you duck the high punch, of course it'll lose, but this is how hard it is to do. But if you master this, it's very strong. There is actually a trick to doing this, and I'm going to learn it eventually because Lei Fei should learn it. There is a trick way to buffer so that you kind of get this a little more secure without having to do the forward so early. But right now, I have to do this forward pretty much when this jab touches you. I have to finish the forward pretty much the moment that jab touches you.
Yep, that's the timing I found too.
But there is actually a trick buffer way to do this, where it's actually like forward punch forward, but the timing is really hard. Yeah. So the trick buffering with this is like, it's like I'm do PG and then I do forward punch forward, but I have to do it really fast, almost like it's plinking with two hands. But if you get used to that motion, it's pretty strong. But the problem is that it looks too much like this. You sometimes going to get this forward punch, this 6P.
Yeah.
And that 6P is not fast enough, it'll lose. That's the tricky thing with Lei Fei. Now, the other thing you can do, though, is punch into kick. Now, punch into kick, I'm going to show you the weakness of it, though, okay? So first, low punch after blocking the high punch, okay? So block the high punch, low punch me. You gotta low punch me. Good. Right, but this is an EX high, and so you already know the weakness of the EX high. What's the weakness of the EX high? Do you know what an EX high is?
Is it like a regular high where it can be low crushed?
It cannot be low crushed.
Okay, so that's the strength of an EX high.
Yeah, the strength of the EX high is that it cannot be low crushed, but this is why you were doing the thing you were doing earlier. The weakness of an EX high is simply crouching under it. It's still a high. So then you crouch under it and then you whiff punish it. So go ahead and practice whiff punishing the EX high. But try like anything. Like block this high punch and then mash punch. This kick is 14 frames. It's really fast. So this EX high is really good. This is also Lei Fei's pressure tool, but the weakness is being whiff punished.
See, I've always like.
So if your opponent,
I really haven't found the strengths in his kick because Lei Fei doesn't have like a punch kick combo like a lot of people do.
I'm telling you,
punishment is actually kind of bad in general. I feel like.
No, it's really good, but you have to set it up, yeah. But it's not. But you're talking about the guard punish. So yeah. So this thing, this move is really strong. You know how you said you didn't like people low punching? This kick is your answer. Anytime you're +2 or better, this kick will beat low punch mashing.
Gotcha.
Right? So like, for example, do like low kick like that to me, and then mash.
Oh, right? Then mash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? And now do the same thing, okay? Do it to me, okay? I'm gonna do this. Let's get back here. You'll die, but it's okay. But basically, take the hit and then mash anything to try to beat what I'm doing. But it's got to be an attack, okay? Yeah. There you go. So kick is like a good response. Like if the opponent like hits you with like a low attack, it's pretty good. But then as you already saw, the weakness is if they just simply duck. If they predict that you're doing this, right?
So yeah, ducking it just blows it all the way up. Yeah.
Right. And so that's a punish. But in VF, it's kind of hard to punish. With punishing is actually kind of hard. You need to do it as a read in this game.
Yeah, I feel like characters in VF recover a lot faster, even on whiff, than they do in Tekken.
That's 100% true. So, but here's the thing. You do learn a few tricks. So let's talk about that. What is a good way to punish? Lei Fei in Revo has a really good way to punish. A real easy way to punish when he sees a mistake, as long as he's close enough. And also, this technique is really good for punishing when you think they're gonna do a throw, right? Okay. And so, like, let's say we're fighting, we're scrambling, we're moving around, and it just dawns on you, he's about to throw me, and like theoretically, you have less than 5 frames to make a choice, right? So any motion you do is gonna be hard. Even this one, it would be good. This is amazing. If you can do this when you think they're going to throw, this is amazing, okay? Yeah. Because this will win. But sometimes your hands are tied. You are moving, you're crouch dashing, and suddenly this feels weird. You can do K plus GP. Yeah. And anytime that they whiff in front of you, you just do K plus GP. Because K plus G is so easy.
Yeah, I found that I punish a lot with that move.
Yeah. That's for that reason. It's easy to do. You can do it on reaction in a game where reacting is hard. And so like if all else fails, if you like, let's say you duck the EX high, but you felt that you might be late. Well, you can just do K plus GP. You can do K plus G and then decide whether you're going to do the punch follow up or not. Right? Yeah. So, and you go into guessing game. This is also what's really scary about this move is you go into stance too. You're just like, oh, okay. You're like, oh, right? So you have this guessing game, right? And you got the stagger, which is really nasty. So so K plus G is like your emergency move, but 1P plus K is a really good, like, I think they're going to throw me, I'm going to punish the crap out of them for throwing, right? Because it's not guaranteed. This will be the throw that's not guaranteed, right? No matter what. Like, you could be -9 and a throw takes 10 frames, but that 1 frame's all you need for your character's to beat the throw.
Right. I know that. The weakness with Lei Fei's launch is that it's like 20 frames. Like, he doesn't really have a fast launcher that I've found, except for if I can get down into stance and K. That's probably like, I want to say maybe 17 frames.
This is definitely high risk, super high reward, though.
Yeah, right.
But it balances itself out.
I get a bigger combo off that than I do this.
Yeah.
That's what I get there.
Right. So, but this move, so scary. And lightweight characters lose 60%, like, well, not 60, but like 45% of their life is gone with this move. Yeah. Really scary. So, if you could do it, you do this. But in an emergency, especially if you do play on stick, it becomes easy to do like this on reaction too. Because like the stick is at neutral. This is a game where it likes you to leave the controls at neutral as much as possible. It
likes to what?
It likes it for inputting. It likes it if you would let the inputs go to neutral, like a lot. If you let them default at neutral. Now, okay, so part of the boxing again, low punch, anti-masher, right? High punch, really good pressure tool. If they like to block this thing, because now we know that we can do like this, right? And we know we can do this too. Now, if they're a person that likes to duck, then of course we don't want to do this. But if we see that they like to mash, this is really good. But also, so is this, right? So.
You said that kick beats 2P too, right?
Yes, it beats any attack. Yeah. Okay, there's one exception. Leon's the first low kick, the very first one, not the 2KK, but the 2K. That's the only move. That's the only move in the whole game that I know of that ignores EX high.
Gotcha.
Like that one will actually crush an EX high. Everything else will not. You know how Kage's got that bitch slap that like crushes high attacks?
Yeah.
EX high will destroy it. This will destroy it.
You know, I have a Lei Fei specific question. I don't know if you know, and I'm not here for Lei Fei specific stuff. I'm just here for general, like, improvement. But Lei Fei's Bokutai stance, do you know what this avoids? Because sometimes I get blown up when I'm trying to go into that, and sometimes I'm invading, right? And maybe it's just the timing of it.
Yeah, it is the timing. So I usually call this super crouch. Not the move itself, but the state, right? Because we've got crouch state, and I'm glad that you understand VF is VF and Tekken is Tekken. So the hard part is you know, when a Tekken player wants to fight with me on like what is crouching, what is standing. You know, so I'm like, I don't care about crouching and standing, but in VF I care about crouch state, stand state. You know, right? Because to a Tekken player, this is standing because it means you're gonna stand, and this is crouching because this means you're going to crouch. The transition. Yeah. But for VF, I'm like, no, this is the crouch state, this is the stand state, because in VF this thing can switch on an instant. It doesn't really have many transition frames. It's like what the crouch dash is all about. I'm standing until 5 frames, I'm crouching. And that's why this is really good. Fuzzy guard is good against throw and good against mids when I'm like -5, right? Let's see. Let's do it. Okay. So I want you to block.
I'm timing this wrong.
So this is about timing, and it is a big risk. Anything that requires special timing is a big risk, right? I'm gonna I'm gonna drill this into you. Anything that requires precise timing could be very risky unless you're very, very good at it, right? Evading on reaction, that's harder than evading on buffer.
Right.
So if I do this and I'm minus a lot, this is easy. You block it, it's easy for me to evade.
But you wouldn't call buffering timing.
No, because buffering just means inputting early.
Right.
So it could be 12 frames early, it could be 5 frames early. It could be 1 frame early. That's all still buffering. But we talk about buffering because in this game, when we fight, it's likely that I'm gonna be biased of one of 2 ways with my offense. One, I might be trying to force you to guess. When I'm trying to force you to guess, almost always it's going to be involving buffering. And whenever we're dealing with advanced techniques, a lot of time it has to do with buffering. Okay? When we talk about evade, it's because of buffering. Because buffering is frame tight. The weakness to evade is delaying. Okay.
Right.
So the opposite of forcing a guessing game is reacting. So reacting is what you're doing when you ducked under the high and you waited to whiff punish it. Okay? Yeah. That's using reaction. Okay? Now, is there a way to set it up like a buffer? Yes, but you're still using reaction. You need to do things that have a margin of error on the timing when you do stuff on reaction, because when you're late, you're screwed. If you're too early, maybe you're screwed too, right? Especially when we got EX high, right? Especially when we got EX high. So like if I kept doing this kick, you want to whiff punish it, well, you got to make sure you duck it and not hit the button early. You'll die, right? Lei Fei's kick is going to kill you if you whiff punish early. So that's reacting. I'm going to put that in the category reacting. Later on, there is a way to play reacting. At the high level of play, do you see opponents doing this and just crouching and fighting you this way? At high level, you will eventually, when you get good at the game, you will start to see this eventually. And the way that what happens when people play this game is they've gotten really sharp at the game and they're going to react to all your slow mids. Anything that's 20 frames or slower. Now it's scary because you can still hit them with this in combo, but they're going to react block this, okay? But the reason they do this,
Shiwapon's like constant.
This is Shiwapon's. This is Shiwapon's. This is exactly that. So Shiwapon is doing this because you cannot throw him. So what you have to do for other characters, you gotta you gotta do the elbow attack, which forces him to stand into a guessing game, and then you're like, you either attack or throw.
He's reacting to a 14 frame move. I mean, that's cracked.
No, he's not reacting on the 14 frame. He's guessing on the 14 frame. Okay. That's why the answer to this, he's accepting fast mids. He's gonna take them. But he has to be, but you got to force him to guess. That's why that's why the strong way to play against this. That's why beginners can't play this way, because they'll just lose on the guessing game. Like, I'll just go high damage and I'll guess, and I'll probably outguess them from my experience, because I'll feel which option is not comfortable for them. I will feel like, oh, they're afraid to attack here, so I'm gonna elbow and throw them. Oh, they mash here, I'm going to elbow and launch them. That's the guessing game. That's how you beat people that are trying to outskill and react. And that's how you beat this 2G defense, is you elbow them, which forces them into standing and makes them -7. And that means they cannot fuzzy guard. They cannot avoid both the mid and the throw. So for example, now I want you to block. I want you to block this. This is going to be hard. We're going to be against the wall because of Lei Fei, okay? I'm going to do this, and I want you to throw me, okay? After you block it.
Okay.
Sorry. Throw? Good. Now against this is only working against the wall because of the stupid move, but this is the move we've got with Lei Fei, all right? So now I want you to try to throw me. This is a fuzzy guard. Now I want you to try to mid-attack me, right? Sorry. I am crouch dash into standing guard. What this does is I am ducking on the 10th frame, which is your throw.
Yeah.
And I am blocking right away after that. So I'm blocking your mid and high attacks. Right? Good. Keep it up. This one is a little tricky to do, but I want to see if I can do this. Yeah, oh my god, that's scary. This is fuzzy guard attack with kick.
Because that's a wall bounce, yeah.
Yeah. That's why Lei Fei players like to do this. So against the wall, 6p, crouch dash, and then you tap guard and then you tap kick. And this is doing an option select version of this. Okay, so that's fuzzy guard, right? And it's really important. Now, every other character can do this with their elbow. In the neutral, it doesn't really matter with Lei Fei because he spaces it out so that they can't throw him, right? Like, I think if you try to throw in the normal, it won't work. That's why I had to go pitching.
If Lei Fei, even on block on an elbow, Lei Fei's out of range of throw?
Well, Lei Fei 6-6p pushes people, right?
Oh, 6-6p.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, let's try it from the middle of the stage here. I want you to try to throw me after you block this, okay? So, nope, stand here. Stand in the middle stage. I want you to block this and then throw, okay? Okay. So, still kind of got to do it, actually. So, we still want to do it even after this. Because we're going to space it out a bit. Now try to throw me. Yeah, he still has throw. So, generally speaking, you should fuzzy guard after doing this move. Okay, so I want you to practice it now. 6-6p, and then crouch dash. Good. Keep doing it, and then let's push me back to the wall. Because it's easier for you to practice it. And the motion you want to get used to is crouch dash into standing guard, 3-3-5G. And it is weird to get used to.
I might be going too fast.
We'll see. Crouch dash, you can still go too fast, but hold that second down forward when you do it. Sorry. Just make sure you at least hold that last down forward. And what you can do is you can hold that down forward, and then just when you see you start to bob down, then you can like do standing guard. you can actually do it that way. Does that work better for you?
Say that again.
So what you can do is you can do 3-3 and hold that 3, hold that crouch dash, and then basically when you see your character's head duck down, then you can just go standing guard. So like, for example, try doing this. Try do a crouch dash and hold the down forward. Just try hold the down forward. Okay, good. So now do that, but the moment you see your character start to duck, I want you to do the standing guard then. Wait for that, okay? Yeah, like that. Because you got to make sure that this crouch dash is happening. But it might be true that because of this push stun, that might be why you have to crouch dash. Like, maybe it is possible that you're doing it too early because of the amount of stun. Because of the time, might be more than 12 frames. But you definitely want to master this. You want to never get thrown after this thing, really. And that this becomes this opportunity for you to punish that throw.
Should I be looking for the white puff of smoke?
No. Just buffer. Just go ahead and buffer the crouch dash when it touches. But you can if you want. But eventually you do want to master this. Like, so in the future, I do want you to use this as a drill. When you go against the AI and you set it to guard and counterattack number 5, I want you to just do this thing and practice this until it becomes second nature for you. Make it become muscle memory. And if this fuzzy guard,
difficult for me anyway.
It is. It's just for day 1, but you're doing great. Your success rate's pretty good. And then later on you can add on this challenge that, oh, whenever I see that throw's happening, I can just hit kick right away.
Yeah.
You know? And it's hard, but if you master that, that's really strong. Because that kick is guaranteed. That kick is guaranteed if you do it fast enough. So I'm going to do it to you. Now you guard and you mix up mid and throw, okay?
So when are you buffering your 3-3? Like,
actually, it is actually when, for me on stick, I'm doing it when I see that white cloud, about the same time as that white cloud, just when I see it. But I also know the timing for doing the technique itself. All right, you go ahead and practice it. The thing is that you should never have trouble with this. If you do that 3-2-3 motion that I told you about, even if you do it early, as long as you're holding that last 3 direction, you should be doing the crouch dash. Your character should absolutely be doing it, regardless, because you're buffering it in. It's just that you might be hitting guard before that. So don't try to rush the guard. Be patient with the guard. You have a lot of time to do that guard. Like, a lot more time you think. And I think that's what's killing your technique, is you're trying to guard too fast. Try to see the crouch dash before you guard. Yeah. You're getting it, though. You're getting it. Perfect. Perfect.
Gotcha.
So
yeah,
you're feeling it, right?
Too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Give yourself that time for that guard. Don't rush it. How does it feel?
Better, yeah. I'm not perfect, but better.
But you're liking it, right? You're like, this is a very strong technique. This is a strong way to apply pressure with Lei Fei. So here's something I want you to think about too now, okay? Right now, I want you to do that 6-6P, and then I want you to evade.
To evade, okay.
Yeah. Good. Good. Okay, so now I want you to show you something. You can take advantage of the fact that you're using forward motion. And do you know how you take advantage of that?
No.
You can delay it on purpose.
Okay.
So now you can do forward, and either hold it or just do forward 3 times and punch, right? So now I still do the same thing. Do it to me and then evade, right? So this is normal. It's normal. See the difference?
Delay. So
Yeah.
Catching my step, yeah.
Yeah. And you know what's funny about so this is how you catch a step, right? Now you go ahead and do it to me. I'm gonna block and then you're gonna strike back at me.
Oops. Oh, I'm getting jumped there.
You're just getting used to doing this because you don't normally do this, so you're getting the muscle memory. You're correcting your muscle memory. So, because you're not used to like blocking and doing 6 XP. But you can also hold, you can like mash forward while you're doing this too, right? And then like you're holding there, you look like a stone, but you're mashing forward. And then the moment that your opponent does something, you like boom, you know, like boom. So this is actually the key to playing Akira, is like holding guard and mashing forward. Okay, so now I'll block mine, and then evade, or I'll then 6 XP me.
Oh, and then 6.
Yeah, so that's buffered, good. Now I'll try to do it like with a delay.
Delay the P, yeah.
Yeah.
While holding forward.
Well, mashing forward. Good. Now I'm actually doing a trick here. So it's hard because when you're mashing, you're hitting up. That's what's happening on your pad. There you go. So this is something you get to practice on, and you may or may not like stick for this, but I think you'll like stick. Good delay. All right, so good. Now I'm showing you another technique. What am I doing?
Are you guard cancel? Are you crouch dash canceling?
I'm doing forward. So I do the evade, and then when I see that like I didn't successfully evade, I do a forward dash in the guard. But
forward dash in the guard.
Yeah, so I do. This is evade dash guard.
Yeah. So this guard itself. Yeah, guard itself won't stop the evade. You have to
dash forward, and then like this. So now that said, it's hard. You are vulnerable. Certain attacks that are delayed that are really fast are still going to hit you, and half circulars are still going to hit you for sure. So
Is an evade dash cancel? Will you consider that like a? That's not a beginner move. This is more advanced, right?
I'd say it's intermediate because I think you need to start doing it, but you need to master evade first, right? And yeah. Now there is a step that okay. So the boxing, low punch was anti-mash. It's really strong, right? High punch was pressure, okay? Because a lot of characters have a PK, have like a punch kick string, and that's usually the basic punish for most characters, not Lei Fei, but for a lot of characters that is. And so that's usually what they're going to react with when they see a mistake made in front of them and they're not sure if they have the time or not. And then throw is really important because throw, so now remember that, let's make it really clear. Throw beats sidestep. So I want you to do 6 don't do 6 XP, do 3P and then guard and then evade, right? You gotta buffer this 3P.
You want me to?
I want you to evade.
3P then evade?
Yes, correct. Because you need to be minus. There you go. Boom. Perfect evade, right? But throwing beats evade.
Right. Yeah, I know that.
And this is really, really important because a lot of people don't drill it in their heads that this is the answer to evade. Like they know it, but they don't do it in their game at all. and it's like actually, if you want to know how to really throw like a high level player, you throw them when they want to step. Because even when they evade cancel, that throw will get them. Even any kind of evade, this will make them not want to evade. Is if you get good at throwing them when they do it. But of course they can still escape the throw, but some of them don't respond fast enough to do it. So throwing beats defense. It beats guarding. It beats evade canceling. And now on fuzzy guard, so I'm going to do fuzzy guard. I want you to now crouch dash into a throw. This is what we call a delay throw, okay? So block the 6-6P, and then I'm going to fuzzy guard, so I want you to crouch dash really quick and throw like this. Okay? Any throw. See? That was really good. Use a different throw. Even do forward dash into back throw. That's a good one. So forward, back throw, okay? Forward, back. You want 6-4 throw.
I don't have just a back throw. Lei Fei sucks, dude.
Are you sure? This is forward, back.
It's got forward back throw.
Yeah, this is 6-4 throw right here.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know that he's got that, but he doesn't just have like a back throw.
No, that's a back throw. What I mean is do that. That's because I'm doing neutral throw escape. I'm beating your throw. There's two other directions. Do a different direction, right? So now guard the 6-6P and dash in and do like forward back throw. It's a good delay throw to beat a fuzzy guard. Yeah, like that. See?
Yeah, that's for me, for my old man hands. It's a hard.
Gotcha. It's probably easier to do on stick, but it's like for me, back forward back are easy motions for me. So I just do forward back.
Well, I mean, after the 3-3 to 3-3.
Well, that's why I said switch it and don't do the 3-3. Do forward back. It's still a delay throw. Still a delay throw. See, it doesn't matter how you delay it. The crouch dash was just to give you a way to do a delay, but a forward dash works just fine. Yeah. So what you're doing is so how does fuzzy guard work? Fuzzy guard works because throws are faster than attacks. Throws are faster than attacks because throws are 10 frames, attacks are 12 or slower or more frames, right?
Right.
So the principle of fuzzy guard is just simply I duck the throw and I'm going to guard any attack that's after that. High guard it. That's how a fuzzy guard works. That's why it works. Yeah. It doesn't work at -6. It doesn't work at -7 because you cannot crouch dash in. You cannot duck the throw fast enough at -6 or -7. If they threw right away, if they did the throw right away, you would not be able to. And so what happens?
Because the crouch takes 3 frames. Is that right?
Because it takes 5 frames with a crouch dash. This one takes 7 frames. So if I do this is 7 frames to crouch. But then you might be wondering, how come I can instant block low attacks? Because in this game, when you do down guard or high guard, when your opponent attacks, the moment that hit frame, that first hit frame contacts you, it's checking to see if you're doing high guard or low guard, and it snaps into that guard. It's instant.
Gotcha.
It does this against attacks. It does not do this for throws. So if somebody does like a mid attack like this, but at that very frame you hit down and guard, you're gonna get hit because you did the crouch guard, because you instantly went into this against the mid, right? So that's the problem, right? So you got to make sure that when their hit frames happen, that you're in the correct standing guard or crouching guard input, because it'll instantly check for you. It'll instantly snap to the one you want, or the one that you're inputting, right? And so fuzzy guard works because, well, again, for throw does not cause that instant crouch, does not cause an instant stand. So what happens with throws, they need to crouch, the defender has to crouch on their own in the time frame to duck under this throw. So for them to do it, when we do this, we're timing it so that the moment that your throw would happen, I would be ducked, which would be 5 frames after I recover, because I'm crouch dashing. It's the 5 frames that I'm minus plus 5 frames to crouch with a crouch dash is 10. And that's the 10 frames that you're doing with your throw. So I'm ducking on your 10th frame. So the way we beat that is, okay, I know that you're trying to duck the throw and guard the high, guard the mid. So all I have to do is delay my throw. So now you can do forward throw after, do like, just do forward throw. There you go. Or forward back throw, right? So delay throw is one way to beat a fuzzy guard. That said, some people will realize that you didn't attack, and so they'll just attack right away. So that is a risk at the higher level, but this is really strong against people that are buffering. So the advanced tech in VF relies on the opponent buffering. So at high level, when people start bringing out advanced tech, that's when you start bringing in delays. But why should you not bring delays in as a beginner?
Why should you not delay what?
Why should you not be using delays as a beginner? If we're using delay attack to beat sidestep, right? And we're using delay throw or even delay attack. Basically, when people sidestep, we like to delay attack, right? I told you about this, right? But why? So then the beginner is like, well, why don't I always delay? And I'll tell you why. When you have advantage and your opponent delays, you get to do bigger moves if they delay, right? They're giving up that advantage, so you don't have to respect the frames this way. If they're not respecting the frames, then you get to disrespect the frames just as much. If they're not using the frames completely, that means your attack choices are better than they were if they had buffered. Right. If they're +2, okay, so there's 14 frames, right? It's +2, right? But if I delay it, I'm not really, then this is not going to work, right? This thing, like, if I really do it slowly, that's why you were getting out hit earlier, right? That's how we knew that you weren't buffering, because it wasn't frame tight. Frame tight allows you to maximize the frames, but if you're starting to play these games, advanced games, like, oh, I want to delay attack all the time, then your opponent goes, I can do launchers more now. Like, I have more attacks for the same situation than I had if he were buffering. But Virtua Fighter's flip side to that is, now when we're buffering, these advanced techniques are good. Evading is good. Evading is bad when people don't know how to buffer. Unless you delay evade, right? But even then, not the very best unless they're doing big moves. Then it's good. So against a beginner, sometimes just playing frame tight, like just sometimes doing this is strong against a beginner, right? Right, so it's like if you tried to mash, then I just have to do this, right? And so this is why low punch into this is the anti-masher, or a low punch into this, even if they were really insistent on it. But this is a safe way to do it, right? This method is really safe. So that's why hit confirming this into this, really good. But also hit confirming to that's really good. But then also you don't have to hit confirm the jab 6 XP. You just have to really do it really good. And as long as this jab makes contact, you can do this. Right? And so, yeah, I know that you understand this. I'm just kind of getting too wordy on it now. But does everything I said here making sense now?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so we've talked about the core of the boxing, but there is something that you are kind of not as strong at right now, and that's the guard throw escape. What are you doing for throw escape?
I'm sorry, you're cutting out a little bit.
Okay, what are you doing for throw escape? Because I haven't seen you.
Throw escape. Yeah,
I have not seen you escape many throws today.
Yeah, I understand it. I know what I need to be doing. It's just that I haven't trained my muscle memory to be inputting the lazy throw escape like when I need to be doing it.
Okay, so here's the thing. Let's do that. So right now, I'm gonna just do forward throws, okay? But we're gonna fight. We're gonna. Oh, never mind. We're gonna switch characters, and then we'll fight. And we're gonna fight like normal. But I'm gonna tell you exactly which throw I'm gonna be doing. Yeah, we use Leon. Why not? Actually, we use Lao.
At my level, do you think it's smart to usually break forward because that's most people's most damaging throw? Because a lot of people want to get that damage.
My advice is to first do something like forward until you become good at it, and then. But in this case, I'm gonna have you do back throw. Okay.
Back. Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna fight like normal, but I'm gonna try as best as I can to only do back throw. Okay.
Okay.
But we're fighting like normal, so.
Fuck.
It would have parried. It would have punch parried.
Yeah, I know. And that's why I'm kicking myself, is I should have stood there.
But that's okay. Don't beat yourself up too hard. Be very easy on yourself in this game. Very good. So those were all back throws. So it's gonna come, but I have to. Very good. Nice. That launcher's insane. Good. Good. Sorry, that was a mistake.
That's all right.
Good game. But those are really good throw escapes. Keep it up. But yeah, focusing on one will help you see when you can. Now, Lei Fei, again, is a character where you're not going to kind of learn just how vulnerable, because the threat of attack is always there with him. But it's good.
That delay, man, that gets me all the time.
Very good. Looks like your throw escapes are pretty good, though. It's just a matter of learning to get used to doing them. But focusing on one throw escape will help make sure that that muscle memory is working and that you know if you're not doing it versus doing it. Because a lot of people think they're doing it and but really aren't sure. You know, and that's why I do this drill. Nice.
What do you like to do after a throw escape?
I like to fight. But
you like to what?
I like to do a lot of trap fighting. So I might use evades, I might use dashes, and I might just go ahead and attack right away. Because if the opponent, it depends on what the opponent likes to do. So it's still a fight. It's still very much a fight. So now I'm getting you a lot with throws. But they are all back throws, fortunately. Very good. Good. Very good. Good defense.
That move from Loud and spinning jump kick gets me a lot.
Yeah. It's
got a lot of range on it.
The good thing is it's punishable on block. So you can punish that on block. Since you're Lei Fei, you can just K plus GP it. I'm sure there's a better punish, but that one will work. So
yeah.
You can probably 9K it, but I think it's minus 15, so I'm not sure. Yeah, do that. Nice. That should ring out. Nope. That should ring out there.
So that's a weakness I find with my K that I have. So it immediately puts me to stance, right?
Yeah.
And so a fast attack will always get me blown up for doing it.
You'll learn how to use it, but yeah. Good.
I know I was too close for that effort anyway.
It's a good forced guessing game, though. Just sometimes commit to the kick a little more. You're playing really, really well though, and the throw escapes are happening. But I think you're seeing more spots where they're not, but it's helping you. Very good.
Oh, I dropped it. Nice.
Nice. Now, crouch backdash technically is the worst movement option, but what makes it strong is if your spacing is good and your opponent's spacing is good, then crouch backdash is really good. As long as you can rely on their precise spacing, because backdash wants to get it wants to cause them to whiff, but you also want to still be close to them, right? But at lower level of play, crouch backdash is just bad. It's too much risk. But when the two players have really good spacing, it can become very good as long as it's used very carefully. Good. Oh, really beautiful hit throw. Very good throw. Good duck.
I can't believe that got me.
No, this is a really good sparring. You're doing really, really well though. The throw escape, I know.
I feel like the times that I'm getting thrown are when I am attempting to evade and when I am letting go of my block button to attack.
Yeah.
Right? And that's because I'm not buffering well enough on my attacks to be frame tight.
Right. That sometimes is it, yeah. But also, yeah, evade, you want to have a throw escape during your evade, so you eventually learn to build it in. And then the evade cancel can happen later, but the evade throw escape's got to happen first. Because you want to be fast enough when you do the evade cancels, it's going to make it harder for you to escape throws too. But you'll have to do them too, but the ordering's different. Very good. Nice. That was really good.
Thanks.
Your media timing is pretty good though for general knockdown, so. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm not as fast as I used to be when I was younger. My reaction times are slower. Like, I've broken probably every finger on my right hand.
I see.
Martial arts, you know, like, yeah, I've got kind of claws, man.
Don't worry about it. You'll get faster even in the old age in this game. This game will make you faster.
Yeah.
I mean I'm 45, so.
Yeah. You're just a tad younger than me.
Sorry, that was forward throw.
No, that's okay.
Very nice throw. Oh, that was really good. Really, really good play. Here we go. I like that.
Oh.
You let go, or you hit something, so.
Yeah, I was trying to set something up, but I was just a little... Fuck.
Nice. Ah, damn it. Shoot, inputted wrong. That was an interesting thing for it to do wrong, but it's all good. Very good.
I also think I should probably throw more often than I do.
I would agree with that. So
Yeah.
the thing is, okay, throwing when you think they're gonna guard is good, but definitely throw when you think they're gonna evade. And so a lot of times when they're gonna evade, and a lot of times people will evade after you block something that's really minus, but not guaranteed, right? Like Nitaku, that's like a common one for me. So. So the good thing is I was like, you're -6, I think, in this situation, so it worked out too. But
I did my lazy throw escape there, but I pushed forward instead of back.
that happens.
Yeah.
That's good though that you are doing it though. It's really good that you're doing that. That's more important than anything, actually. That's the most important step. The worst is if you just didn't do it at all. Like the only excuse for not doing a throw escape when you're vulnerable is because you're buffering your next move. That's the only reason.
Fucked that up.
I delayed waking up to try to make you whiff. That was sick. That was really cool. I see.
Yeah, guys at your level play at a much higher pace than I do. It's a feeling, that
I know.
it's a pace that's hard to process as it's happening.
It is, but you are catching on. Like you're seeing the guessing points and you're making good decisions. Like you really are. So you're getting better through this. And you're actually playing at a pretty fast. The things that you react to your reactions are very good, but your adaptations are also really good. Like you're actually watching for certain patterns, and I like that.
I'm out.
Yeah, I try not to get myself to run out of the ring too. So. like that.
That was a good one.
That was really good. You had a lot of good ideas, and like I said, the things that you're adapting to are really good. You're seeing a lot of stuff, and you're coming up with good countermeasures. Maybe it's your martial arts experience too.
Yeah, I doubt that. I was too slow on that. This is really fun, by the way. And thank you so much for your time. I didn't expect us to spend this much time, but I'm grateful for it. You know, I didn't mean to take up your whole evening.
No problem. I'm enjoying it a lot too, and honestly, you're very strong. Like you have a lot of good skills in place. Your adaptability is really good. Your focus is good, and just ironing out these fundamentals, I think, are going to make you even stronger. And you are buffering well. It's just, but it is sometimes a lot of people don't realize that they're not doing it, and I think you're doing most of it. So. That's the fourth row, but yeah.
I need to just sit down and study my frames too, because I need to know when I'm plus.
I think for Lei Fei, it is important to study frames. For a lot of other characters, I can make it more conceptual, and I don't need to fully know the frames. I just need to know the ballpark of the frames. But I honestly think with Lei Fei, it's really important to know the frames for him, because his game is very knowledge heavy. Like, it's very knowledge heavy. For the opponent too. Like, the tricky thing for me about fighting Lei Fei is he can knowledge check you, like, in so many ways. Good. Very good. But you're using throws a lot more now, and that's really good. It's really important to do. Like, you want to make the opponent
it's like
not
halfway
comfortable.
through a match, I'm like, why am I not throw punishing things? Like,
Yeah,
you know, and then I like.
It's, well, it can be discouraging when they do break them, but the thing is that they throwing will make an opponent like uneasy about their defense, and you want to do that. You do need to learn how to deal with this, though. So
Yeah.
just low punch. If you see like a Lao just mashing punch, even a good Lao, you really should just low punch check it. That's actually the weakness for Lao, is that low punch can stop a lot of his pressure, and if the opponent refuses to do it, they will like, it gives Lao way too much freedom.
One move that I really have trouble with Lao is, I don't know what it's whatever punch that's really slow that sets up the stagger.
Like this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
You can do- okay,
wake up. Like,
so-
it's very evasive, and like, it's hard to step.
It's not too hard to step, but the thing is if they got the meaty timing down, that's tough. But if it's not meaty timing, you can always step and just don't hit a button after that. You gotta not hit a direction, don't hit a button. So like, if I do this, I want you to evade and then don't press anything. Don't press guard even.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't press anything. So evade it as early as possible, and then don't press anything. And then when the strike is done, then attack. Yeah, that was perfect. That was perfect. So the problem is if you evade it and you hit, now try evading and mashing, but I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna do it, okay? So I want you to block this, and then I want you to evade, okay? And then I want you to mash.
Yeah.
So that worked out. But usually, maybe this one can't. But normally, what gets people in trouble is they evade it early, and then they mash, and then the attack hits them.
I don't know why, but it seems to have a decent amount of tracking on evade.
Oh, it does. Watch. So that's me doing max charge. Do the same drill. See?
Yeah.
Because it's tracking, not because it's tracking the evade. It's because you hit a button.
Yeah.
So the rules of tracking is that when you evade something, it will go off axis. But that same move or string is the key word. So that same move or that string, once you've done your successful evade and those invincibility frames are gone, after that, if you hit any input, they will start to track you. The game wants you to check the situation. It wants you to look at what you're evading, and it doesn't want you to evade
the string will
mash.
continue if I don't press any buttons.
Like this is a string, right? So as long as it's the same string, it will continue off axis for the most part. If you don't press anything, there's a limit to that, but generally yes. Now if he does a lot of delays, then yeah, he may retrack. But generally speaking, it's because you hit a button that something that was mashed out hit you, or the charge attack
Even
hits
guard.
you. Yeah, even guard. And it's because this game wants you to not evade mash. It wants you to evade and do correct things based on what you see.
Yes.
That's because in past VF games, people would just evade mash. And there wasn't much reason to not do that except for certain things. But generally, it was fine to do, and it was kind of dumb looking. But this game's evade game is way more interesting. Good. Very good. Very good. And that 9K was a really good choice there. Man, beats even that.
wake up kick should I be throwing?
Blocked wake up kick. It's a good idea. It's a mix up situation, so you should either do a mid attack or throw. If they're evading, you should absolutely throw. And a lot of times I do it after you block my rising attack, I have a high chance of evading there. Like this, see? Especially side kick too. So again, it's your advantage. You can consider that a turn. I don't, but it's still an option. But the reason for attacking is to beat the throw. And so what you want to do is sometimes you want to make them throw you so that you can attack. But generally you want to do a throw on the Taku if they like to step. Man, that thing will just win against that. Yeah, that thing just wins neutral. It's like 30 something damage. It's like 35 damage. So it'll just win trades. And it has so many hit frames, like 6 maybe, 5 or 6 hit frames.
You talking about my launch there?
Yeah. And because it's stationary, like he's standing back, then it's likely the opponent's moving in to try to hit him. So that's why it's such a good launcher. It's good against aggressive players.
See, I pressed there, that's why I got kicked in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct. Good. 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 That's a good anti-throw.
My hands are getting stiff, so I'm dropping a lot of inputs.
You're doing really well.
I appreciate it.
Very good. Very nice. Very good. That was excellent.
Chanchai, I think after this first 5, I'm going to call it a night.
All right, sounds good.
But I do have a couple of follow-up questions for you after we're done.
Yeah, sure, definitely. That was really good. I like that change. Thanks.
I hope Lao makes it into the VF6 and Shundi, but they might kill him off and bring younger characters with their fighting styles.
Might be the case. Maybe we're getting a clue as to the new Lao, which would be that the character to reveal might be Lao's student. That was really cool. I like that.
I should have thrown there. I gotta get into that.
You'll get used to it.
I also need to work on realizing. I need to recognize if it's a rising attack or low attack on wake up.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to be able to react to those.
Really good. That's such a good setup. Very good. That was excellent. I gotta remember that doesn't force the side turn.
Oh, I thought I was out. Now, to back roll when you're on the ground, that's back and block, not back and PKG, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a manual wake up, OA and guard. And if I do a rising attack from there, it's like minus 15 for any character that's not a Kara. Gosh, that thing. That was good. It's good. Really good use of it. Those are really good battles. You did awesome. All right, what were your questions?
Was that five? Was that the first five? All right. Yep. So hold on, man. I'm gonna get a pen and piece of paper here. So if I had to focus on three things at my level, what would I drill? What do you think I should be drilling here?
Well, right now, you're showing in these last two sets, you showed that you can actually do the guard throw escape, so I'm not as worried about it, but you do got to keep it in your mind that that has to keep happening. But your throw escapes were really good. When you play another character, you're probably going to have to learn more cases where you'll need to do the throw escape. Right now, Lei Fei creates a huge threat about attack about him, and this is what keeps people off of throwing him. So right now, most of the time that you're going to feel this threat of throws is when, like, after you whiff like a big attack or something like that, and sometimes when they do manage to be close up and interrupt you with like a low punch or a high jab. So you'll want to have the response to either fuzzy guard if it was a normal hit, or guard throw escape if it was like a counter hit. So whenever you counter hit and you see that the resulting position is there next to you, you should have the instinct to guard throw escape there for sure. And I think you kind of do. You're at least primed to do that right now. And the deeper we got into the sets, the more you were doing that. So I'm not as worried about your guard throw escape ability. I think, but of course, we're testing your ability to do it in general. But Lei Fei is a character that, against an opponent that knows that is fighting Lei Fei, is probably less likely to throw him because he's actually hard to throw. Sometimes when you play other characters, you're going to learn a lot more about way more of the opportunities where you can be thrown. And so that may be something that gets exposed later that you'll have to work on later, is understanding you might have
because my next character I think I'm going to pick up is Pi, because she was my very first
Pi will definitely be a character where you have to actively throw escape like a lot. Whenever she like whiffs or can't do something for a moment, and you don't want to like just stand there and guard throw escape. That's not the point. It's just for that time that you're vulnerable, and then you off to the next move right away. Right? It becomes like a force field, and you're kind of doing it that way. So to be honest, your skill, you have very good skill. You really do. It's very clear. Your skills are very strong, and they are adapting to VF very, very well. So whatever skills you brought from Tekken or any other game, or real life even, I'm seeing them applied in these matches with you. I'm seeing you problem solve, and they're the right way of problem solving. They're the correct way for Lei Fei. That doesn't discredit them for other characters. It's just more that the Lei Fei is really good at... He's one of the characters that can feel like he has turns, because he actually has string pressure that is like ridiculously threatening. But he also has weaknesses too, as you know. Whenever you're in stance, you feel like you already put yourself in Nitaku in a different type. It's not the mid throw, but you're just like, I don't know if he's gonna low punch or not. I don't know if he's gonna, you know what I mean? It's gonna be like low punch, or it's gonna be like side kick. It's gonna be something like that. That's gonna be the thing you have to play around. So because of this aspect, this is where Lei Fei actually feels a lot like characters in other fighting games, including Tekken. Because of the way he's making these threats. When you play Pi, it is a really good second character, because Pi is going to force you to think very much in the VF mindset, very assertively on offense and defense, like very constantly, nonstop. But she will reward it very much, because she is also a character where when she knows the frame, she's very scary. Because when the opponent plays frame tight, but not in like they know the frames exactly, but more like they just trained it on muscle memory, she will punish them for doing too routine stuff. Simply because, remember how I said that the higher damage wins on a trade? Pi's 3P plus K, you don't want to overuse it, because it's weak to evade and it's weak to backdash. But it's strong because when the opponent plays generically frame tight, that move will just upend that.
Yeah, that move is awesome.
Like that move is like it's the 12 frame, but this is not the same damage as a jab, right? Yeah. And so like that low punch could win elbow when somebody does PG into elbow against her and she does 3P plus K. That 3P plus K actually does more damage than the elbow, so it wins that. So it's like, okay, she blocks the high punch and she does this double palm, and it makes them like stop and think about what they're doing. You know, it makes them, sometimes they don't know that was what they were doing. It just became so routine, and she broke that routine, so she causes them to kind of be mentally paralyzed for a little bit. That's one of Pai's strengths. She upends it in a very fair way, because she knows the frames when she has interesting tools that can disrupt, and then she can force guessing off of quick low damage lows. But that guess, if she's good at guessing, becomes very scary, and so she can do stuff like that. She's very good.
I'm just looking for. Well, I like stance characters because I think they look cool, and the thing with stance characters is they're good for knowledge checking people that don't know, but once you get to a certain level, like stances can actually become a liability because when you understand what moves I have out of a certain stance as my opponent, then you've automatically reduced my ability to put on good pressure, right? Whereas you, in neutral, have your entire arsenal at your fingertips, and there's no visual cue to tell me what you're about to do, right? But when you learn, in this stance, Lei Fei has these 3 moves that are good. These are the options that I need to be ready for. It actually can become a liability at higher levels, and I don't think people really understand that when you get really comfortable.
No, that's the problem. Yeah, but I'm having fun with these matches because I'm trying to learn how Lao approaches the Lei Fei matchup. So I'm like, okay, I got to figure this. Like, okay, this is like causing me trouble. But it's going to take me a while to adjust to what I need to do there. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for me, but this is like Lao is really tricky for me to play because I'm used to a character that has a lot of tools at high, mid, low. And Leon is not good at punishing, but Leon is really good at kind of disrupting and countering what people do. And he can also evade. Yeah, so he's got that strong side turn game, but he's also got, he's got a lot of good tools. He's a character that's a very utility character. And so with Lei Fei, against Lei Fei, that's great, because it's like, okay, we can double down on our guessing games here. Like Lei Fei wants to guess.
Is like a really bad matchup for Lei Fei?
Yeah. No, not really.
No?
I think it depends on how the Leon player plays. I think it's a high knowledge game for both sides. I think Leon they can both wreck each other. Lei Fei can do a ridiculous amount of damage to Leon, just for Leon being lightweight. Look, and so if Leon is too aggressive, then that 1P plus K will destroy everything. It's not like I'm a Kira that can have something that, I have one thing that can outpower, but I've got to go max charge to do that. So I have to like max charge my attack if I want to trade and win against that uppercut, and that's not the way to play that. But I can also evade punish that thing to hell. So as long as I get the evade, I'm happy. Because Leon can actually do more damage against that launcher if he evades it than what that launcher's threatening. That launcher's threatening like 90 damage, and Leon can do close to 100 damage against Lei Fei if he evades that launcher. So it's just that he's got to evade it early enough and punish it with the correct punish, So that is scary.
Do you think, so my boxing, my punch guard cancels.
Your punching is good, but it's definitely that you want to sharpen it. And with Lei Fei, the way to actually sharpening it with Lei Fei will make you a lot stronger with it. So the basic 1-2 is really important. Try to master that jab into 6-6 speed.
Yep.
And then master.
My buffering needs to tighten up.
Master.
My fuzzy guarding, my 3-3 Gs.
Your crouch dashing in general. So what I want you to understand about crouch dashing, it's not just about the fuzzy guard. Okay, and it's not just about doing moves that you do from crouch. Okay, the crouch dash is it's probably the best movement option in the game.
Yeah. And
so the fuzzy guard is basically like the Korean backdash of Virtua Fighter. Mm-hmm. And you could.
I never got down KBDs.
And but it's easier to do, and you can also. you can fuzzy guard in the neutral, to be honest. The way you do it is you crouch dash and then you watch what happens and you just defend on reaction when you get used to seeing things. And I think actually watching the way that you play, you're capable of doing this already, actually. It's just a matter of time and practice, and it will eventually happen with you. But also...
Yeah, I was playing Paknemius today, earlier. I don't know if you know him. He's another
I do.
STL guys.
You have a similar way of disrupting the flow that he does. But go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah, we were talking about the fuzzy guard, the 3-3Gs earlier today, but...
Yeah, so the 3-3Gs, you can do them in neutral because you could actually like crouch dash and watch what they do, and eventually you might be surprised how many throws you cause to whiff in the neutral, and it can be very discouraging. It makes people, at some point in intermediate level play, because of the prevalence of fuzzy guard and because players start to show more reaction skills there, some people start thinking that throwing is bad in VF, and that's not true, but it does mean that you have to be more targeted in your use of them, you know, and one of those is when they evade. When they evade cancel, throw, you know. But
tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Lei Fei Sabaki is a tool that allows me to really not have to 3-3G as much.
Yeah, because you're playing the guessing game.
It's going to blow up a throw, and it's going to blow up a punch or an elbow.
Right.
Like,
that Sabaki does have huge weaknesses, right? So both of them. So it means that
I'm not saying it's a perfect answer. I'm just saying that I feel like Lei Fei has certain tools that allow me to get away with things that, again, because I have those tools, like my fundamentals suffer because of it.
But the biggest weakness of Lei Fei actually is eventually evade. Is that when people know which ways to evade him, and they know which attacks to evade and when to evade, not to just do it. Like if you evade cancel against him too much, it's actually bad. But if you start evading him like a very targeted way, it's very strong against him. If you start knowing what he does and you understand his move list, then that's like his biggest weakness, because that's when he feels contained. That's when he feels exposed. And then that's when you're going to have to be using the jab into 6-6P and the jab into, crouch dash 6P, a little more, because you're going to have to apply pressure in those ways, and then using your throws as well. But also
when I'm flow charting into stance and I get evaded, that's when I get blown up big. And then when I realize people are doing that, I can start to delay my timing and catch them. But it's the first few times it's like jarring. It's like shit. Yeah, they know as soon as they see me stance, evade, and they're gonna be able to catch me.
For your Lei Fei, I would add stuff like I would start experimenting with 6P, including the stance cancels from it. And also 6P plus K. Start using moves like that. You already kind of use 4PP, but you use it as a finisher. But there are really good places to stick that out. These are the short form moves that Lei Fei has that are very good. And 3P is really good. 3P is an underrated tool. It's a really good move for Lei Fei because 3P hit all three. 3P PKG is really strong. Check the frame data, play it, do it in training mode, and look at what the frame data is like when you hit them. Yeah, look at it when you hit them from the side.
I think 6P into PKG is actually more frames. Yeah. I think he's more plus on that than. So Probably. I've started to try to get to use that as opposed to 3 PKG or 3P PKG.
Yeah.
Because if I've got more frames to play with, then I've got more options to use after that.
Right. So, definitely use those. And so keep experimenting with it, but you're doing really great. And they're both are 16 frames now. So 6P is really, really good. The downside is probably 6P being evaded. Now 6P is evaded.
Well, 3P can too, right?
It can too, but let me look at the total frames here. So 6P is 44 total frames. That's not bad. 3P is 41. So 3P is just 3 frames less total frames. So 3P is just slightly safer on evade. But
okay, gotcha.
But it's just one of those that these things do eventually matter, and they add up, right. They stack up. So so just being good at both is really strong. 6P is really good. And so, and 6P is like a half circular. whereas 3P is linear, right? So if they're evading to his back, then 6P is awesome. So, but yeah, it's one of those things where eventually that becomes a way for you to exercise control in the matchup too, because if you start when people evade, do you know what the logic is, like the correct logic versus the typical logic?
I don't know if I understand the question.
Okay, so in evade, how do you determine what's the best direction to evade?
Oh yeah, see, I'm trying to like pay more attention to people's foot stance, like open versus closed. Like
that one matters less. The open close is important. It is important for some sequence, but front and back is what matters more.
I feel like more people, like if depending on who I'm playing, like Wolf will have that big kick.
Yeah.
Right. That'll stun you. I feel like if I can evade toward his chest, like I can get away from that.
Nope.
Because it's a half circular.
No, the big kick is to his back.
Oh, okay.
So here's the so here I'll give you an example though of advanced movement. Wolf's screw hook is really fast, and to evade his screw hook, you got to evade to his front. Okay. Now, logically, you might be thinking that you should evade the big drop kick to his front because it's swinging that direction, but the correct direction to evade is to his back. Now, having said that, which one's faster, which one's slower? Screw hook versus drop kick, which is the faster?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know what the screw hook is.
The screw hook is fast. The screw hook is his half circle back punch. It's 14 frames. It is as fast as an elbow. It's as fast as Lei Fei's kick, but Lei Fei's kick looks slow because of all the total frames. But Lei Fei's kick is actually very fast because we're talking about when it hits, not when it finishes. So Lei Fei's kick looks slow. It's a very fast attack. 14 frames is usually the fastest mid, right? Wolf's screw hook is same speed as an elbow, but much bigger damage and half circular. So his screw hook is the threat. To correctly evade it, you got to evade to the front. Now, if you're only minus a little bit and you're fighting against Wolf, you could actually do evade, crouch dash, evade to the front and crouch dash cancel into guard, into standing guard. That's basically evade into fuzzy guard. When people talk about ECD, think of it as evade canceled into fuzzy guard. That'll make it a lot easier for the process. Right. It'll be a lot easier for you to on the pad. It will feel easier when you think of it that way. When you think of it as ECD, a lot of people on pad struggle because they're thinking about all those inputs. But when I tell you no, it's just evade canceled into a fuzzy guard. That's a lot. And once you have the fuzzy guard down to memory, that's easy to do, right? It's like, oh, you just tap up neutral and then do fuzzy guard. Yeah, I can do that. Or I just tap down in neutral and then do a fuzzy guard. I can do that. So when you have fuzzy guard down, you can do ECD right after that pretty easily if you think of it as evade into fuzzy guard.
So before we got into this, I think you were saying something about it. Is there a general option that's better to evade towards somebody's back or somebody's front? Yeah,
but what I am saying is that so with Wolf, you could defend against both his screw hook and his drop kick by doing ECD to his front.
Okay.
If you're minus a lot, you can't. If you're minus a lot, you got to pick between the two. So now, which would you pick between the two, the screw hook or the drop kick? I would pick the drop kick. I would avoid that drop kick. So if I'm like -8, I'm gonna evade to his back because I don't want to get hit by that drop kick. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When Wolf was +5, I had an option that would evade and defend both his screw hook and his drop kick. But when I was -5 against Wolf, but when I'm -6 or worse against Wolf, then I gotta pick my poison if I'm gonna evade. But I don't have to evade. I can block both, of course. But if I'm gonna evade, I'll try to avoid getting hit by the drop kick because the combo is like half my life. And the screw hook is what the screw hook does is knocks me down, does damage, and then threatens to Okizeme me. But that, anyways, so to go back to what we were talking about, the correct evade logic is front and back. It's not left and right like Tekken. It's the character's front side and their back side.
Yeah.
okay, use your pen and paper, and I'm going to give you a drill to practice against Leon. Okay? Because this is going to train you on how you evade correctly against Leon to cut down his move list. Okay?
Okay.
So, because when you evade with the correct logic, you put more control in the match. If you evade based on comfort, based on I always like up because it's easy, or I always like down because it's easy, you give your opponent control of the match.
Yep.
So,
all right, what's the drill here?
The drill is that technically against Leon, you should be evading to Leon's backside. But there's a trick to this. The trick to this is look at the character's front foot, and this works for anyone. Evade towards where their front foot is. If their front foot is more in the up on the screen, then you do evade up. If their front foot is down on the screen, you evade down. The front foot correlates with the backside because it's attached to their butt.
Can you show me? Can I re-invite you here?
Yeah. Let me see here.
And after this, I really do have to go.
No problem.
I gotta work early in the morning.
Okay, so I'll show this to you as Leon here. And so the drill is going to be that you spar against the AI, you spar against Leon, and you have it set to like level 5, and you set all the advanced settings to random. And what you're going to do is you're going to fight in a very generic way. That could be like practicing your punch and your 6 XPs. It could be low, but it's better to do low punch into from crouch 6P, okay? Or low punch into 6 XP. And then anytime you are minus, whenever the AI blocks your low punch, just evade to see where my front foot is.
Yeah.
Do you see where my butt is? This is the down direction. That's his back.
This is the down direction?
And that is, so this is back, right? This is where his back is. Do you see his chest or do you see his back? But now, if I do the side kick, now where's my backside?
Now it's up.
Now it's up, right?
Yeah.
Look at that front foot.
Yeah.
That front foot is tricky, right? So what I want you to do is I'm going to hit you with this, and then I want you to evade where that front foot is. Good. Right? Now, if I covered it, this is me punishing the other way, right? Because watch what happens if you don't do it correctly. I'll hit you with this, evade to the wrong side now, and I'll show you the punishment for it. This is guaranteed. And then this wall was guaranteed too.
Yeah.
So if you can just stare at his front foot and evade, and all you got to do is when you practice against the AI, just stare at his front foot the whole match. Do this for half an hour. You will be very strong at this. Most characters...
I don't even need to stare at his foot, really.
Yeah.
All I need to do is see, is his back towards the screen or is his chest towards the screen, right? And go for that.
It is, but look at how many moves he has that switches his stance.
Yeah.
This is why staring at the front or the chest or back can be tough. You can practice it, and I do that method in general, but specifically for myself, a Leon player, to master the Leon to get better at the Leon matchup, I had to use this method because of how often he switches stances.
Yeah, he does switch his lot.
Like half his move list switches his stance, right? So here's the thing that you avoid. You just saw that you avoid the side kick. You also avoid 8K. You also avoid 2P plus K. You also, I think, avoid even this. Let me do it one more time. You even avoid that, right? You avoid a lot of good stuff that threatens to do damage to you right away. You even avoid this by evading to his back. He has to do all the stuff where you have to evade to his front. They are stuff that that can set people up like this. Right? So this is going to beat you, and then this is going to beat you, and that is tough, but this is pretty slow, and you could but the thing is it sets you up. It didn't do that much damage. He has to convert the damage after it. Right?
Yeah.
And against this side turn game, this is really powerful. This is your first option. Your second option is to guard. I'll show you why you don't want to attack. You can even try Sabaki, and I'll show you what happens if you Sabaki, but try any attack. Try any attack here, and I'll show you why you should never attack. Try Sabaki too, and you shouldn't even Sabaki. No. After getting hit by this half circle forward punch, just go ahead and attack, and I'll show you why you don't want to. because of this. Right? This is what you don't want. Yeah, you don't want to eat that, right? So evading will work. Evading works against this. Okay, and you can punish it on evade. Try to do K plus GP. Sorry. Maybe not, but probably throw, but yeah, that was working. Yeah, so you probably want to like evade throw or evade punch or whatever, but K plus G apparently not, so but still. But I would practice throws. See if you get side throw or normal throw right away. You got normal throw. This is a normal throw. This isn't even a side throw mix-up. That's powerful. So I want you to know this. Side throw is a different case, right? Side throw, you have to use Tekken logic of right and left side.
Yeah, I know how to break the side throws.
Okay.
But again, it's getting
the muscle
myself to see it.
Yeah, no problem. But what I'm telling you though is if Leon does this and you evade it, just throw him and mix it up.
Yeah.
Because it's not a side throw. It's a normal throw situation.
Yeah.
So you can do your combo throw. And in fact, if I was to do the combo throw is forward, right? I would evade. If you get the evade up, I would do the combo throw. And the reason is because the side throw, if like you evade to the up, my side throw escape is back. If you evade down, my side throw escape is forward. And so if we know that it's not going to be a side throw situation like after this thing, then the combo throw, like the forward throw, is going to be the one to do that. That will punish me for trying to escape side throw. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope it does. But I'm telling you that you get to mess with the opponent. Leon's in big trouble if he does this and you evade and throw mix up him. Because the throw is guaranteed.
You know what? I think Tim was trying to tell me something like this, but
it's hard.
It wasn't explaining it like I guess in a very concise way. So
it's hard, right? I think my strength in explaining is I try to walk you through it and I try to get you there. But but if I try to be concise, it might not get you there because you might be missing a few steps, right? We had to get you to understand why you wanted to do. We had to get you to understand why you wanted to do, like, sorry, I'm screwing that up. But like, we wanted to get you to understand why you want to do this. And then we can work it out. And then I got to tell you, hey, there are situations where you're at their side, but it's not side throw.
Yeah.
This is the case.
Right.
Basically, any time where the best you could do is evade and punch, and you couldn't even do evade like K plus G, which is 13 frames, only 1 frame faster than slower than the punch. If you get that almost always means that throwing is not going to be a side throw. I'm just telling you that as a secret.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. That makes sense.
Okay. So I'm just telling you, like, if you find out that your evade punish is just like throw or like punch, but it's not 13 frames, you're like, oh, maybe this is one of those cases where it's not even the side throw. I get to do the 3-direction mix-up. They're in big trouble. Aoi is actually, this is Aoi's weakness too, by the way, because some of her really powerful attacks right now, that's the weakness, evade into throw mix-up. So, but anyways, okay. So against Leon, you generally want to, because this side kick, which is really good. So this move you don't worry about, because with this move, he's just like he's setting it up. It didn't do the damage. It just set you up for damage. But now you've learned the 2 best defenses against Leon's side turn. Evade to his back, even when he put you in side turn, and also guard. Those are the 2. Those are the choices. Actually, I'll show you another. Let's do this. Okay. So I'm going to take the hit, and I want you to try to guard. Okay? So you're going to take the hit, and then I want you to guard. You see that? You couldn't guard that, right? I want to tell you this is not frame tight, but it's a side turn setup, and this is a high punch. So now I want you to low punch after you take the hit. Take this hit, now low punch. See? You just crushed it. Now just crouch. This time crouch guard. See? So what's happening here, you've seen many times Leon gets this free PKP. Now the PKP is generally guaranteed in many situations, but in this forced side turn, you could low punch him or you can duck. And ducking is really good. And the best is if he's greedy, because the best punish for this is duck and launch. Because that last hit is an EX high. There you go. So, and you might want to just start with 9K. And then later on you can do the launcher too when you figure out the timing. So EX high, that's the weakness. Duck and punish. Duck and whiff punish. But if you do it too early, not gonna work.
Right. Because I'll get.
And he can delay this a lot, so that's why you gotta watch.
Yeah.
see how much delay this is. So you can actually record 3 different AIs at different speeds practicing punishing that thing. Okay, this is just PKP. And so same thing, if he does like this crap to you, then you can punish. Yeah, so this is key to doing the Leon. I'll give you one last hint too. I think I told you this on the stream yesterday. Anytime you see this low kick, just down and guard, even if you get hit.
Yeah, because he's launch punishable after that, right?
Yep, he's launch punishable. Yeah. And then watch what else he does, right? Like, same thing, right? Launch punishable on, right? And then even if he tries to do this, at least you can stand and guard. If you see that he does nothing, you can just stand and guard. So eventually, like, you can train the AI to do this for you. So you can see that this thing, you still down and guard, but when you realize he's not going to do the follow-up, then you can stand and guard or attack or whatever. But then you've got this, right? So the thing is, he's trying to get you with this. Now remember I told you that this low kick, the first kick, not the second kick, the first kick can ignore EX high. So like you can hit me with punch and then hit me with kick. See that? It ignores EX high. It's the only low that I know that does that. Everything else will lose. EX high counter hits every move except for this one move, but otherwise EX high can counter hit everything else. And so when they try to crush EX high, that's the problem. Yeah, so EX high is good when you have advantage and you think they're going to try to mash, because it'll just punish them for that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, thank you so much.
No
You've been
problem.
so helpful. I really do appreciate it.
Have a good rest. Have a good day at work. And even that when you're at work, feel free to shoot me a message if you have other questions that you had tonight. And you know that I'll message you full detailed essay answers. So.
Yeah, and feel free to hit me up even if you just want to have some matches and fight, man. So
yeah, well, I love it. I like fighting your Lei Fei a lot. You have a good Lei Fei. You play well. You really play well. So there's not like. Yeah, we're filling in fundamental gaps, but like you're well equipped to be very strong. I don't want to pump you up too much to get upset. This game has brutal plateaus, but you've done but you've done martial arts. You've done work.
I'm at a plateau, which is why I kind of reached out, to see if I can try to break that.
I think you're doing great.
I'm not trying to be pro or anything. I just know that I can get better, but I'm at a plateau where some good feedback will help.
I sense that you like to learn, and you've done martial arts, so you know how the plateaus go. Yeah. And you also know how like how to be humble, but also how to be determined. So
Yeah. It also helps. Like, I don't get super tilted at this game. Like, I'll get frustrated with myself because like I know there's a way I could get out of the situation, right? So with something like Tekken 8, like there's so much bullshit in that game right now.
A lot of people have told me that.
By the game and not by my,
A lot of people have told me that they have that feeling. I don't know that feeling in Tekken 8. I enjoy Tekken 8 on a very casual level, but a lot of people told me that like you'll learn the right answer, and for some reason sometimes it just doesn't work. So I was like, okay, So I was like, I don't know what I can say about that, but
VF is refreshing in the fact that it, like, things seem very binary. Either you chose correctly or you didn't.
Right. And even when things go BS, you kind of figure out the logic to it, actually. The weird logic, but you kind of figure it out. So.
Yep.
All right. Have a good rest.
Take care. Have a great night. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. And and we'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Cheers.
Bye.